Okay. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm so stressed about this, but can you hear me? Also, don't forget, there's like a 1 minute delay or something on streams, I think. So, if we're gonna run into technical issues, you're gonna have to wait like at least a minute for me to figure them out. But anyway. Hello, I'm Anya, also known as Meppity, and I am currently not at my own place, so I don't have like a full setup. So I'm in a kitchen, which is why it may sound echoey. My microphone is over here so that it's like away from what's it called? From my computer, because my computer's making a bunch of noise. I say computer, I have a laptop. I don't own a desktop. That's a whole other thing. I'm gonna check on the stream. Looks like people are saying hi, saying there she is. That's good. Hello, all of you. Thank you so much for showing up. It really means a lot, and I'm really excited to dive into this project. I'm gonna be fully honest. So, I made a poll the other day, being like, you know what? I'm gonna stream. I want to work on my film. But if I work on my film, it means I can't do YouTube content. So I was like, oh, let's do both. And there's a lot of things that I need to be doing. And so I made a list, which is the poll. I threw storyboarding in there as like just a quick throwaway, thinking, you know what? It's no one's gonna vote for this. And then you guys knocked it out of the park with voting for storyboarding. So, full disclosure, hence the thumbnail, I'm not... Okay, I think I have good knowledge of storyboarding in general, but from the technical standpoint, I get very nervous and stressed about storyboarding. And so now, I'm gonna do the same, but with an audience. And I am not familiar with the technology, like StoryboardPro. We haven't really properly learned it at school. We had some brief classes in my first year, but you know, it was that. I'm going to switch over to the main computer screen thing in a second so that we can... I just realized you can probably hear me twice. Okay, wait. Yeah, can you guys hear me okay? I need some... I'm like so panicky about this. Can you just, I don't know, comment cheese or like give me some cheese emojis in the chat to let me know that this is working okay? I am literally such a grandma. My sister and I did like an unlisted live stream for about half an hour before this, trying to make sure that this is all working. Okay, thank you, Tabs. I'm gonna get used to this someday, I swear. Evil Snips is saying Storyboard Pro is really intuitive, luckily. It's interesting. I disagree, but I wonder if it's because I'm not comfortable with storyboarding process in general, regardless of the software. Oh, we're getting all the cheese emojis in the chat now. It's all coming through. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yeah. So let's dive in. It looks like everything is running pretty smoothly. My sister, I told her to text me if things go awry, so she's texting me now, and it seems like things are okay. Anyway, let's talk about my film. It is called FiREWORKS. It's technically a temporary title, but I have no idea what else to call this damn thing. And I started working on it in December-ish of 2021. Every year at Cal Arts, you are supposed to make a film. And you kind of start in September when the school year begins, and then our deadline is around mid-April. Unfortunately, when I came back to school for my second year, I was not feeling inspired, and I was trying a bunch of different things and begrudgingly kind of hauling my way through these projects that I didn't ultimately care about. And so I think it was like 10 weeks into our 14-week semester, I finally was like, you know what? There is one story I really do care about that I wrote right when the pandemic was starting to kick in, which is funny because thematically this story kind of ties in with it, but it was never meant to. I don't want to give any spoilers, but we'll get into that later. So the other issue with like all the other projects is I was trying to squeeze a story into 2.5 minutes, because in your second year of Cal Arts, the time limit for the films is roughly 2.5 minutes. Not roughly, actually, it's to the frame. But this story, it's longer. I'm predicting that the runtime of this film will be between 7 and 8 minutes. We'll see once I have an animatic piece together. But in terms of like screen time and, sorry, not screen time, me reading the script out loud and the audio that I've recorded, it's definitely leaning towards that 7-8 minute range. What is this film about, you may ask? Well, I have quite a lot of material already on my website, actually. It's on the homepage and on my character design page. And let me switch over now to art mode. I'm using Streamlabs, and this is the first time. Oh no, I used it like in 2021 once or twice when I was, well, last time I live streamed, but that was a whole mess in itself. Okay, this is Storyboard Pro. Cool. But I'm gonna move over to my website first. I hope you guys can see this. Yes, you can. That's great. So if you would like to view my script, you are welcome to do so. It is the very first link right here, view script here on my website, on the homepage. Spoilers though, obviously. If you want to save the actual story, then I suggest you go in blind and wait until the actual film is released, which, by the way, that's going to be around April of 2023. Because the other thing is, because my film is so long, I didn't end up finishing last year, and I actually took a hiatus and worked on another film with a good friend of mine, Young. That film is available on YouTube. If I remember, I will link it in the description at some point. But in the meantime, yeah, I did not work on my film, and I'm finally getting back into it. Yeah, I'm excited, pretty stressed, pretty nervous. But yeah, it's like a series of 3 vignettes. There's a little story about this old couple as they are preparing for an event known as the FiREWORKS. Then there is a story about a young couple. Oh, actually, let's go. And then there's a story about like a dad and a mom and a young kid. The parents are divorced and they're also preparing for the FiREWORKS. All my backgrounds are 3D modeled. I've modeled them in Maya, which is the default 3D software that we've been taught at Cal Arts. So I know a lot of people keep telling me to learn Blender, and I'd love to at some point, but yeah, I'll get there eventually. For now, Maya's, I love it actually. Here's some style frames. That being said, these are like loose. I need to work out color grading and how to visually piece together this the way I want it. And the way I want it to look is like a kind of 1950s to 60s style Technicolor film. Technicolor being like the actual type of film used, I believe, or type of color grading. I don't know anything about actual physical live action film, but I want it to look like that, and so I'm gonna have to find some After Effects trickery to do that. So yeah, we have this old man and woman, cool. This is the 3D model of the kitchen. I modeled every single thing polygon by polygon from scratch, and then textured it all and made all the materials myself. Well, not made the materials, I signed the materials. If you don't know anything about CG, that's fine, neither do I. Also, if you hear strange noises like that, that is the dog that I'm looking after, Ray. I'm sitting too high up, so you won't be able to see him because he's also way too big for me to pick up, but he's a cutie. He's a real sweet patootie. Yeah. So if I have to disappear for a bit, it might be to like help tidy up. Okay, I'm not going to scroll any further because there are sort of spoilers further down. But anyway, that's what's on my website. I also have a couple character design things on the character design section of my website. Cool. Yeah. But I am going to be adding a bunch more stuff to my Patreon. So if you do want to see all the behind the scenes things as it goes along for the coming months, yeah, go to my Patreon. It's linked in the description. $4 a month, you get to see a bunch more stuff. I'm going to give a sneak preview of that in today's stream, of what I have so far anyway. In all honesty, most of the stuff is currently available on my website, but there's a little more on my Patreon. Let me show you some of that. Where did it go? I need, like, you know, once you're used to 2 monitors, it's like, okay, I cannot go back to just 1 monitor. But then when you have 3 monitors, you cannot go back to just 2. And I feel like I need 7 monitors right now. Anyway, so I mentioned that there's 3 stories. The third story is about a young couple, Eddie and Maya. They're like in their early 20s. And they're also preparing for the fireworks. As you can see, the theme is the fireworks. So yeah, here he is in his range of emotions. I really enjoy drawing faces and seeing a character come to life, because when you draw a flat turnaround like this, it just doesn't quite, hang on, my face is in the way on this streaming thing. Guys, I'm so sorry, bear with me. I am learning new things every minute. Yeah, so I mean, he's kind of smiley in his turnaround, but a lot of my turnarounds are kind of plain faced. Here's some exploration of him. All of this, by the way, is back from like December, January, and then February at the latest. All of this. I have barely touched this project until last week. So, yeah, this is all fresh. Anyway, then we got some turnarounds of him. Then we got this special turnaround for one particular scene. Wink, wink, nod, nod. I'm gonna just skip past. Then we got some random sketches. These are some ancient, terrible, like, first brain dump sketches of Eddie. It's really weird seeing like where he could have gone. I don't know. It's the same with all my characters. Then this is Maya. I really was drawn to the very first drawing I did of her, actually, and this one that I'm circling here was that first drawing. So her design evolved from there. We got the mother. These are like, oh god, they're so bad. They're really bad. I'm very aware, but it was just me getting basic ideas out there. Most recently, I finally designed the mom and dad's kid. So this is the kid. The 3/4 pose is looking a little wonky. I will fix that at some point, but this will have to do in the meantime. Then we have Maya. I did her facial expressions quite recently as well. I do like her face, although this graphic art style that I've been developing is really hard to convincingly like feel 3D for me anyway. Like once I have those puzzles solved, then it's significantly easier, but for now I'm really struggling. That's what the point of these facial expression sheets are. So judging by the poll, you guys wanted to see storyboarding. I'll get into that soon, don't worry. But I do think it would be nice to stream a little bit more in the coming weeks, and I will be doing more facial expression sheets, more pose sheets, and then there's a bunch of background characters in this film that I also need to design. So if you're interested in tagging along, you know, stick around for that, and then all my finished work will be going into Patreon. Yeah, I've fully revamped my Patreon recently. I think I announced it in my 2 most recent videos, which, by the way, my most recent video, it didn't do well, you know, that happens, move on, whatever. But if you would like to know about how to handle critique coming from someone who didn't do a very good job of that a couple times, that's both giving and receiving, yeah, I suggest checking it out after this stream. Also, I have no idea how long I'm going to be streaming for. I will have to probably eat at some point. If the dog gets kind of antsy, then, you know, I'll have to go. But yeah, I'm hoping until early afternoon. Anyway, this is Maya's turnaround. I have settled with the blonde, but part of me is still pretty attached to this like red cardigan, brown haired version of her. Not gonna lie, she is based off of me, which is why she initially had like longer curly hair, but now I also don't have long curly hair, so I guess it doesn't matter. But she's not based off me personality wise, but she's based off of my personal struggles I've had. So if you read the script, you'll pick that up. I mean, she's half Russian, just like me. And then we have a special partial turnaround. You know, I'm sure you can puzzle piece bits together between this image and this image. Oh my god, okay, sometimes I look at the proportions of these designs and I'm like, why is this dude literally a triangle with toothpicks for legs? But that's the fun of design. Oh yeah, there was a brief moment where I was like, what if Maya has like ginger hair and a teal cardigan? So something you may be picking up on is the old couple. Their color scheme, including their apartment, is very green. Maya is, along with Eddie, very blue. And then the mom, wait, why haven't I got pictures of them? I swear I have turnarounds of the mom. I don't know where they've gone. Okay, well, they're in my Patreon. Are they in my Patreon? Yeah, they should be. Or they should be by the end of today, hopefully. But like the dad, the kid, the mom, they're all yellow. So my plan, I'm seeing friends. I see names I recognize, both people I know in real life and people that I know your usernames. So anyway, I have 3 mini stories, 3 color schemes, and then there's like the overall core story. That color scheme is red. So anytime you see some red, it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean the item has significance, but there's like a slow build, kinda, is my plan. God, I am rambling so much, but I'm gonna give some personal shout outs to some personal friends. Hi Tabs, hi Roy, hi Young. You guys do not need to stick around. You've heard me rambling about this film plenty enough. But yeah, you guys, Young is in the chat. He is the person who I made a film with, and it's a really cool film. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I can link it like right now. I'm sorry if this is a terrible mess. Oh my gosh. Also, I can't hear myself. Like, I don't know how I'm doing. I'm purely relying on the chat to know if this is falling apart or not. Okay, weird looking dogs. Now, this film is very different to what I normally do. As in, I'm very like particular with visuals, and I like all these dramatic stories and stuff. So it was a real blast working on something more lighthearted and kind of loose. Yeah, I'm honored that I got to work with you, Young. Okay. Hopefully it won't block me from sending links, but there you go. Cool. There I have linked in the chat the short film. So if you want to watch that later, do that, or watch it now. You don't have to stick around. Okay. Before we get going with storyboarding, because honestly I'm procrastinating because I don't like storyboarding. Does anyone have any questions? Preferably in the direction of this film. But you know what? I haven't been live. I haven't been present online very much lately. So if you have any other questions, I guess you can do that. Also, yeah, I don't know why my audio is so low. I have literally maxed it out on like both on my mic and on the stream. So that's something I'm gonna have to figure out another time. But yeah, I don't want to put because my mic is here, but if I put it any closer to my computer, then you hear all my computer stuff, and I am not a tech genius, so I'll have to sort that another day. But this is better than my previous stream where I didn't have a mic at all. That one was messy. Anyway, what's your favorite part of the animation pipeline? Halo Leah says. Okay, good question. Honestly, I love every aspect, and that's not like a throwaway answer. For me, like zooming in on one thing for too long just gets boring to me. I love big ideas, like, you know, stepping back, seeing the whole picture come together. So I guess it's not within the pipeline, but I love the idea of producing, because a producer is the person who kind of like manages hiring people and the budget and the time constraints and like actually puzzle pieces the structure of the project together. I like that. But if I had to work within the pipeline, it'll definitely be like the design phase, because I'm kind of lazy. The animation stuff is too tedious. Storyboarding stresses me out. Rendering and compositing and all of that it's okay. I'm not a huge fan. And editing, least favorite part, which is why it takes me so long to do YouTube videos. But yeah, design is fun. And if you guys don't know, I have worked and currently I'm working for a company called Hornet, and they do the ads for Ralph's, which is the Southern California version of Kroger. So if you have like a branch of Kroger anywhere in your state in the US, those little beach ball headed characters, I designed those, which is really fun. But it's like, I just draw a quick 2D thing, right? And then someone else 3D models it, and then someone else rigs it, and then someone else animates it. That's great. I get to do the fun bit. Cool. All right, we got plenty of questions here. I'm gonna pick and choose if that is okay with y'all. Let's see. Can you give a quick synopsis of the film? This is my first time seeing you, and I have no idea what this is. Lol. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I don't want to spoil the film, which is why I'm being very loose about all of this. But yeah, it's 3 vignettes of like little groups of people. So an old couple, a young couple, and a divorced couple with a young kid. And they are all separately in their own ways preparing for the fireworks, which is like some cool event that's happening that evening. But before they can, enjoy this event, they have their own little personal tensions to sort out. So for example, Maya had a fight with her mom, and she is trying to call her mom to apologize and just speak to her and clear the air before the fireworks happen, and her mom is not picking up, and Eddie's trying to comfort her. The old couple, they're just going about their day. The old man is filling out his crossword, the old lady's making some tea and talking and watching TV, but there's a party going on in the streets outside that is way too loud, and the old lady's kind of trying to comfort her husband, being like, look, it's fine, let these kids have their fun. And then the couple that's divorced, well, they're divorced, their parents don't like each other, but it's a special day, these fireworks, and so they are sacrificing their enjoyment of the day in order to make their kid as happy as possible. That's as much as I can say, I suppose, without giving everything away. Okay. Does anyone know how to make like specific panel number rules for the storyboard? I'm sorry, I cannot help you with that. I've got it in the description, I have it in the title. I don't know what I'm doing storyboard wise, but if anyone in the comments has some knowledge, please do share, because yeah, this is a chatting time. All right, were you inspired by, oh no, where did it go? Were you inspired by any particular artist or memory or film for your own film? Yes, I was inspired by like Soviet films and music especially. There's this kind of bittersweet melancholy quality to that side of the world, especially stuff from the 70s and 80s, and I really like it, where there's this sort of sad overtone, but maybe there's like a hopefulness, or a happy overtone, but there's like a somber thing bubbling under the surface, one or the other. In terms of specific films, I can't think of any specific films, but the whole Technicolor visuals I've really loved for the last year or so. So I guess films from the 50s, 60s, and even 70s. Yeah, but yeah, that's the kind of thing I adore. Do you consider possible lighting situations or environments, colors in your films when deciding the local colors for your character designs? Yes, and that is why I want to make it clear that my character designs, they have color right now, but those colors are not final. In fact, actually, I've got a kind of tricky pipeline up and coming because my backgrounds are 3D, and sometimes these characters need to navigate these 3D environments, meaning I'll have, it's like a card, like a 2D plane that's in the 3D environment that is being impacted by the lights in my 3D environment. So I need to tweak the colors so that they all blend together nicely. But that's something for later down the line. For now, it's just like, I like color. I wanted to put some color in my characters. Yeah, they're all very pink skinned, but it's kind of in line with the color grading I'm hoping for. Anyway, any tips for writing a good story? Yeah, draw from your own experience. And it doesn't need to be a story about something that actually specifically happened to you. But, you know, it could just be tapping into the emotions. It could be based on something very specific that happened in your life, but you switch out the details. Because at the end of the day, the stuff you know best is the stuff you've experienced. And I guess that ties into specificity. Guys, my video that was from like last month, my video about specificity, is probably one of the most important videos I think I've ever made. So if you haven't watched that, that one is a whole entire breakdown on how to instantly get better art, because it just goes over my core values when it comes to what I think makes good art, or like sort of on a corporate level, whatever. Not the message that your art says, that, but like what gets people's attention kind of thing. What makes you stand out from the crowd, I suppose. Anyway, let's see. Phoebe Passolt says, what's your ideal plans for after graduation? Good question. I mean, YouTube is really fun to do. I might end up having to transition over to TikTok if YouTube dies a slow, painful death like it currently is. You know, gotta move with the times, but content creation like this is really fun. I would love to work on a series where, you know, I want to make one at some point, but if I get sucked into the corporate world for a bit, you know, working in a regular animation studio, I think that's great. I'd love to meet more of the industry and like all the people associated with it and just learn. I just want to learn and have fun and get paid whilst doing it. So yeah. Okay. What part of designing is difficult for you? Making the design functional. It's one thing doing like a quick little sketch that looks really cool in that one pose, but then as soon as you try and break that thing down to make it movable or like turn in a 3D space, that's what I struggle with. Okay. Is the length of the film... Ooh, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. The chat like jumps around like wild. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Is the length of the film decided yet? Yes. I think it'll be between 7 and 8 minutes, but it depends on how my animatic plays out and if I add or take away some scenes. When it comes to color, is it more what you want or just what complements each other, or a mix of both? It's definitely a mix of both. I don't really like blues very much. I like very specifically like periwinkle, but that's it really in the blue range, and maybe teal. But I have a whole section of this film that's blue. But I think it's more important to lean into what I think is right for the film as opposed to very specifically my personal tastes, because the film as a whole is my personal taste, if that makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. Off topic, but I love the poster behind you. Oh yeah, I guess it's Star Wars related. I don't know anything about Star Wars, but my family does, so there you go. Alright, how long would you say, roughly, do you take animating? And when would you say, will you start animating this animation? Good question. So I worked for Netflix last summer, like this, around this time last year. and they gave me 11 weeks to animate and do all the backgrounds. Okay, for animation specifically, it was probably about 8 weeks to do 1 minute of animations. That's like 2 months a minute, which is very slow. And I'm a very slow animator, so yeah. A lot of people work significantly faster than that, but I get really caught up and I struggle to focus like quite intensely. I get bored and take breaks and things, so yeah, I'm a slow animator, which is also why I don't love doing it. But I do hope to start working on that maybe October, November, in terms of like actually animating frame by frame. Yeah. What is it? Okay. Let's see. Antoine Webb, I just want to say you're a legend. Your sketchbooks are just wow, and thank you for sharing your Cat Storm. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I want to get information out to people, and I like making stuff and sharing it. What program would you recommend for still drawings? Well, I'm always a sucker for Procreate, so that's my suggestion. Any tips on working on college applications? Yeah, technical skill and range is one thing. That's easy to learn. But the thing that no one else can take from you is your personal voice. So if you add personality into your submissions, whether that be like the themes you choose to show, or like the topics, like what are you actually drawing? If you prioritize that, then you're gonna stand out more. And it's like, the thing I've always said is if it's a sketchbook or if it's a portfolio piece, by the end of looking at all of that, the person who's looked at it should have a feeling like as if they know who you are, as if they've met you before. Yeah. Let's see. Any tips for having confidence as an artist? I tend to focus a lot on what I can do. Fake it till you make it. Am I a confident artist? No. I'm streaming like my biggest insecurity today. I have butterflies in my stomach. I like feel nauseous, not gonna lie. But it's kind of helpful because it'll get me over, I'll get over it. Also collaborating with people and doing stuff you don't necessarily enjoy. Like when I worked with Young on his film, I'm a perfectionist. I like really pretty polished drawings, but we did not have time for that because this project was way too big. And so I was forced to learn a new software and just kind of get drawings out. And sure, I was still a lot slower than him, but it forced me out of my comfort zone in a really great way, and now it's informed the rest of my work. Sylvester says, just want to say thank you, you're doing an amazing job. I watched your short film process video, which was super helpful. Thank you for helping out community. Thank you, Sylvester. Yeah, I like sharing the process. I don't want anything to be a secret, you know? Your video and specificity was actually very helpful. I've actually been thinking where or what timeline I could put my OCs in. Thank you, Swive T. Also, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing usernames. Yeah, I like that video. You should watch it if you haven't already. Maybe it's just me, but I'm feeling like YouTube is making a small comeback. I hope so. I mean, I have YouTuber friends, and it seems like on the back end of things, it's not the case, like in terms of the viewership and the money that's being made and advertisers, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. How do you practice drawing a consistent character for like a turnaround? So, as you can possibly see on my drawing of the kid, I had these horizontal lines, and these are here to guide me on where like the top and bottom of something is. But honestly, I don't actually draw my characters like this when I do turnarounds. I draw them one on top of each other, like directly on top. So if I draw the character facing the front to start, I then lower the opacity, and then I draw how the character looks from the side, right on top, so that it's easy to kind of shift things sideways to make sure that the volumes feel consistent. And then once I have that, then I take away the initial layer. So if that was the front facing version, I remove it completely, so then I can focus on actually making just that sideways view look good. And then I can find a good midway point between the two for the 3/4. Yeah. But am I good at it? I'm still learning. Okay. come off the slow animating because of my perfectionism. If something is bothering me on one part of the animation, I try to work on something else and come back later if it still bothers me. Yeah, same. How cinematic do you want this to be? Having read the script, it seems very cinematic. RNG. Yeah. Yeah. Also, hi. I want it to be really cinematic. I don't know if I'm inclined, like, naturally to do that, but I'm gonna make sure it happens. My computer is too slow and weak to open up, like, all my 3D model files, but locationally, like, I have a big coastline, kind of like the Pacific Coast Highway in, like, California, west coast of America. Yeah, so that's pretty cinematic, and color-wise, definitely cinematic. By the way, read the script for your film and absolutely loved it. It's gonna rock once it's all done. Thank you. Yeah, man. I hope it works. I don't think it's necessarily a very original script. Like, you know, the story has been done plenty of times before throughout history even, but it's my take on it, and I think it's the execution that matters the most. This might be a bit silly, but how do you do figure drawings? I always loved yours, but mine was, like, weirdly flat, and a lot of YouTube tutorials don't feel as helpful. Not a dumb question, by the way, Mirrorless. Don't worry, there's no such thing as a dumb question. But I also, let me see, I'm trying to think how I can suggest that. This sounds really vague and cryptic, but my brain is a bit fried, and I do believe in these words. Draw what you see, not what you think you see. So that can often be things like blind contour, where you draw the figure, right? But you don't look at the page you're drawing on. You just purely observe what you are seeing, because then it forces you to no longer kind of fill in the gaps by yourself by accident. Instead, you are actually seeing, like, how does this arm crease fold in front of the chest, or how does the jawline interact with the base of the top of the neck, or something like that. Yeah, that's my suggestion. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we've got a lot. Not gonna lie, I might have to. I think I'm gonna have to get going with this storyboarding stuff, but I will check back every now and then for questions. But if I don't move on now, well, I'm gonna be here forever. Okay, all right. So, to preface, I attempted the beginnings of this storyboard, I think, in January, and then, like, picked it up randomly from January to February and then abandoned it. I have not looked at this since then, so there might be some weird ass stuff in here. Also, probably really inefficient, but I hate drawing backgrounds. I'm not bad at them, I just don't like them. So I used rough versions of my 3D models and screenshotted a bunch. And so that's what these backgrounds are. A lot of these have no characters or anything. But let's go through a little bit of my film. I'm not going to go through all of it again, because spoilers. But I'll go through, like, the first half. Kind of like pitching it, I guess. Except I haven't written all the dialogue, and because there's no characters, it's a bit of a mess. But let's see what we've got. You're discovering this at the same time as me. Okay, so we start off on a sky that is currently grey, but it will be yellow, with the title, FiREWORKS. And then, boom, let me hide this real quick. Then we come into a school, and there's a bunch of parents and kids, people saying bye, oh, see you later, la, 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 la. And then we've got this lady, this mom, I think our design has changed since I've drawn this, waltzing between all the cars, heading to her car. And then we've got a kid, and this kid is like, and I was playing with macaroni and just talking about his day, having a good time, and he's like pointing, and just so happy. Cool. And we follow the characters again. I haven't drawn them, but we follow them round to their car, and then the mom opens the trunk, or the boot, as us Brits will say, and she starts loading things in. And then she, she kneels down, looks to her kid and says, "Look who else is here to see you." And then kind of nods over to the side. Kid turns and runs around to the side of the car, and then I haven't drawn it, but his dad is in the front. whoa. And so they get out, he gets out and they hug and they're talking and he helps the kid get in the car. Sorry, the dog is plonking himself by me now. So they're talking, blah, 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 blah. We got some little quips from the kid. What is it? He's like, does that mean you and mom are friends again? Yeah, I don't think these guys are friends, but anyway. Yeah, there's literally no drawings, but then the dad is helping load the kid into the car and he's like, come on son, let's get in, we've got something exciting to show you. And the kid like leans to the other side saying, what is it, and the mom says, fireworks, all excitedly, because guys, we're gonna go see the fireworks. So yeah, they drive off and that is the end of story 1, scene 1. And then we have this really janky, this is literally just me screenshotting a bunch, really janky transition of a bunch of traffic. And then we go to like, it's a bunch of not supermarkets, like big stores. And it's all kind of trashed and yeah, it's kind of chaotic looking. Yeah, this is going to be a much smoother camera move later on, I promise. Yeah, what is going on? And we zoom in on like a Walmart or something, whatever the generic store is in this universe. Closer, establishing shot, and then we've got, this is what I'm going to be storyboarding today, by the way, guys. This scene, we have Eddie coming out of the supermarket and he has got his arms absolutely chock full of food, snacks, all of that. And he's like coming over, okay, oh, I drew 3 frames, great, well, I'm going to redraw them because these are horrendous. And Maya's sitting in the car and she's looking kind of sad and glum. She's staring at a phone. Also I just realized I'm not looking at the chat, so I hope this is all making some level of sense. Yeah, and he's coming over and she's trying to make a call. And the call goes to voicemail. And so she's, sighs and is looking distraught. Eddie reaches the car. Actually, you know what? I think... Oh yeah, I've taken notes here. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Eddie walking and Maya. Great. I don't know what these notes mean, but cool. And so he's like, still no luck? And she's like, no. Wait, actually, let me get my script open because I don't remember what the exact dialogue is and I don't want to mess it up. Okay. Yeah, so still no luck, and she's like, no. And he's like, oh, whoops, I've gone back a bit. And he's like, shit, man, sorry. Well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? I've got snacks and drinks. And he holds up some wine and is looking very proud of himself. She kind of begrudgingly agrees, and so they end up driving off, I think. Yeah, so he starts the car. I don't remember exactly what's meant to happen in each of these, but it's okay. We'll go over that in a bit. And he starts playing some music, and it's like bumping, and maybe he's singing to it. Who knows? And they drive off. Now, that's the end of story 2, scene 1, and we're entering story 3. Now we're out on a street. A bunch of people dancing, laughing, crying. Got some strange folk all over the place on this street, and we start panning up and up and up and up and up until we get to this window, and in it we have this little old lady who's staring out, wondering what's going on. Well, she knows what's going on, but she's wondering. And then the old man, her husband, is like, what's with all that ruckus? And she looks and she's like, looks like preparation for the fireworks. And you can't really see him, I'm sorry. My background is like too opaque, but sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that because I'm too lazy. There you go. God, that's a bad drawing, but whatever. But yeah, he's sitting at the table and he's like, they're too damn loud. Oh, hang on. Let's move this back. Let's give you a better view. There we go. He's like, oh, let these kids have their fun. And he grumbles. Ugh. She knows that she's right and goes back to his newspaper. But then the news comes on. Breaking news, fireworks about to begin. And he has no interest. What's this crap? Breaking news announcer, blah, 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 blah. He reaches in for the remote, boop, and changes the channel. Okay, so this is going to be fun. I want my film to be mixed media, and so all of the stuff that's on screen is going to be live action, and I'm going to be using my voice actors and collaborators as the like news pieces. So you've got different channels that he's flipping through really quickly, and then he settles on some quiz show. And it says duty. Great. Okay, well, it's so loud outside, let's turn up the volume. Boom. Did anyone else have TVs with this green bar for the volume? Throwback. And then he's just like sitting, and then the old lady, she's shuffling over with a stool to a cabinet that's on the right. And she gets up and is like looking around, opens the cupboard, looks left, looks right. Closes it. Aha, okay, maybe it's in here. Ah, and then as she like swings the door fully open, we match cut 2. We'll be back with the parents and the kid. But this is as much as I'm showing you guys for now, mostly because I don't think I've added all the screenshots to the end. Second week start getting into like spoiler territory, but that is the setup. I'm gonna go back to my, what's it called? My chat to see if this was okay. All right, looks like you guys are fine. Okay. Oh my gosh, my kid's voice is a disaster, but I do actually voice the kid in this film. I got really insecure. I listened to the audio the other day, and it's not what I wanted it to be, but I might have to re-record. I don't know, but it's like hard to do a kid's voice and have an American accent. Yeah. Anyway, let me show you one more thing. Let's see. I thought I opened it up. I guess I did not. So I see some of you saying that I was saying my drawings look bad and they're quite all right. Let me clarify. If a drawing is really rough and loose, that's fine. Like, I love that stuff, and I don't think my drawings are necessarily bad because of that. In fact, they're not bad because of that. The things that are not ideal is if the drawings don't feel very solid, if they don't accurately, let me do this off screen, if they don't accurately represent the design of the character, if the facial expressions don't fully actually match what I'm trying to portray, and if the poses aren't very clear, if there's not enough clarity, basically. You can do that with stick figures, you know, you can make things look really good in just that state. But some of my drawings were just a little bit too rough. Okay, fireworks, thumbnails. You want to see rough though? Okay, get ready, you guys. We have my thumbnails. So I don't have my actual sketchbook with me, but, oh, this is gigantic. But I do, so I have this back in my apartment. You can see a drawing from Alex Hirsch on the other side of the paper. He drew Seuss for me. But yeah, this is what my thumbnails look like. I promise you my drawings can be better than this, but these got the point across for me, because I never planned for anyone to actually see these thumbnails. This is, though, how I began my plan. I have a friend, Tabs, I don't know if she's still in the stream, but she has like an absolute favorite frame from my thumbnails. Let's see if I can find it, because, oh, it's of Eddie, and he's very pointy, right? And he is especially pointy in this one drawing. Oh yeah, and I've just got like a couple little drawings of the party people. Someone said, hold up, have you met Alex Hirsch? Yeah, I've met him twice, actually. Twice? Yeah, twice. Which is very cool. Very, very cool. I am very honored to have been able to meet a lot of people who I work up to. Oh, hi, Mooey. I could have sworn that the drawing was on this frame. Well, we can look at look at the high quality drawing that this is. Like, It's great, right? Okay, I mean, this is a car zooming along a road. Look at this amazing car. These drawings, by the way, they're literally the size of my thumbnail, if anyone's curious. I am very good at drawing circles, clearly. Look at this tire. Yeah. Maya looking sad. Eddie looking pointy. Oh, here. Okay, bruh, what is this profile? I'm so sorry, Eddie. Let me just remind you what he's supposed to look like from the side, because it's not this. It's really not this. Okay, hang on. It's gonna be... Oh, why is it so... This is really strange. Okay. Yeah, this is how Eddie's supposed to look from the side. Yeah. And then this is how I drew him that one time. Anyway, look at this dude. Gonna shrink this down. I'm just gonna like flip through really quickly. Just quick pan. Spoilers ahead, if you can actually contemplate what I'm looking at. What you're looking at, I mean. Yeah, so that's that. That's my thumbnails. I'm gonna have them off to the side alongside my character designs, so I use them as reference for me cleaning things up a little. Okay, right, where am I? What section am I doing? Okay, here is where I'm at. This scene here is what I'm boarding today. It's already 12, so I think I'm gonna maybe board for 2 hours. I think we'll see, because I do have plans for the afternoon, so I gotta keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the chat one more time beforehand. For people who don't know, you'll be surprised what the concept art was like for the Up movie, which was done on a napkin. Yeah, dude, all the best ideas come at the strangest times and in the weirdest formats. So, yeah. Someone's asking, isn't he an alumni? Makes sense. Yeah, Alex went to Cal Arts along with a bunch of other people, and so they often like to come back and either be like guest speakers or attend special events. Yeah. Okay. I'm panicking and stressed and crying and burping and farting. I'm not emotionally ready for this. I literally don't remember how to use StoryboardPro. I should probably have practiced last night, but I didn't, because I was trying to figure out how streaming works, and then I got locked out of my bathroom. I don't know how, but it locked itself from the inside, and so I had to unscrew the door handle at midnight. Anyway. Okay. First of all, let's see if my pen does work. That's really good. And let's see if I can turn down the opacity of all of my backgrounds. You're gonna have to deal with the boring stuff today a little bit as I figure this out. But that's part of the process. You guys wanted to see me storyboard, you're seeing me storyboard. Also, just what's it called? Full disclosure, if I'm doing something in a really inefficient way and you know a faster way, you're welcome to let me know. I might not see it in time on the chat, but I will look back at the chat at some point. And what is it? Yeah, I'm sorry if I deeply frustrate you by doing things in a really silly way. My friend Moo is like, wait, the one of the kids and the parents said that one was a masterpiece. That thumbnail? Oh boy, yeah, that one's definitely one of the best. Don't want to show it because that one is spoilery, but it's it's good. So I believe with Storyboard Pro, this is not a tutorial, all right? But this is just for someone who has never seen Storyboard Pro at all. I've changed up all the colors myself, but these little blocks are, I believe, scenes. Oh no, they're shots. And then this like bigger blue rectangle is a scene. And so anytime the camera changes, I make it a new shot, a new block. So it alternates between purple, green. And then anytime it's a new scene, I change that up. I don't think it changes color though. I just think it's like, let's see. Let's get to the end of this scene. Oh yeah, you can see there's a small break, which indicates that. So now we're on like scene. Oh, it's all out of whack. It says scene 7, but this one before it says scene 11. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what I'm doing. Hence the thumbnail for this video. Okay, opacity 70. That's what I've been doing. All right. Yeah, I got really far in this back in February, clearly. 70, 70, 70, 70. Oh, I guess I turned down the opacity for all of these already. That is wonderful. So I have not input the dialogue yet into these shots. So I'm going to do some of that. So then I kind of vaguely know what I'm looking for. First off though, I'm going to shrink down. Hang on, is it Command Option? Nope, that's rotating my canvas. Is it just Option? Nope, I don't know what I just did. Is it Command? This is me trying to remember shortcuts. Is it 1? Oh, okay, it's 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is zooming in and out. Cool. Wait, but there's like a way to scrub it. Whatever. Yeah, so I have my notes, and then because I haven't read them, I don't know what I'm saying. It looks like this is just Eddie walking in Maya for all of these frames. Great. But I will take some notes of the actions that I want to happen for each panel. Because what I'm going to do is, you can already see that, I don't know if you can see in the bottom, I'm actually flipping between panels, but nothing is changing on the screen because this background is the same. Also, this car, it's actually my dad's car, and I took a bunch of photos when I was back home for winter break, except I accidentally did not take a photo from one angle, so I had to finagle this horrendous looking mishmash right now, which is why the the steering wheel is disastrous. 1 and 2 for zoom in and out, zoom out. Scrubbing is the hand tool. I use spacebar. Yeah, I use the spacebar to move. And I mean, like, if there's a way to zoom in and out, like sliding, if that makes any sense. But it's no biggie. I don't really need that. I got used to Harmony, which I love, but for some reason StoryboardPro, which is also made by Toon Boom, I've not learnt to love yet. Okay, well anyway, let's see if I can remember what I was going for. I'm going to open my script, which also means, because I only have 2 monitors, goodbye YouTube chat for a bit. Where is my script? Okie dokie. So, let's start further back. We have the establishing shot. We have characters off to the side that I don't feel bothered to board out right now. I'm going to just get the main characters in first. But there are characters by this open van that are fighting over like a fuel canister. We've got people, oh no, they're like furiously loading stuff into the van, and then on the other side we've got people fighting over a fuel canister. And then we have Eddie walking out. I have not drawn pose sheets for any of the characters yet, which is kind of a mistake on my end. But because it'll make my drawing job easier. But I guess he's just like a triangle with toothpick legs. It shouldn't be too hard. So I'm gonna start with that, where Eddie steps in. Let me get some reference up for myself so that I can see what Eddie looks like. So I'll have this on screen next to me. You guys won't see it. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I can make it real small and we can squeeze it in here. I said I was going to do dialogue. Oh wait, it's not going to float in front. Never mind. I'm going to have it here. I said I'd go through dialogue, but I kind of don't want to, and that's boring for you guys, so yeah. I am going to duplicate this panel because I want kind of like an actual stepping in motion and then like a separate settle. So what have I got brush wise? Cool, this'll do. Let's see, how close am I? Is this going to be like an over the shoulder shot? Nope, my angle is too low. Is it going to be his legs? I guess so. That makes more sense. But it's kind of weird to just like have his crotch hanging out like that. Also, I'm gonna take this off. I don't need this. Why didn't I think this through when I took the screenshots? Yeah, you know what? We can do some fan servicey bullcrap and have his butt be like right there. Cool. And then he like takes a step. Like, okay, that's a bit too sideways. I want him to not be that sideways. If that makes sense. Like he's kind of walking more directly away from the camera. That's what I'm going for. Cool. And then I'm going to do a little arrow being like, yep, he's walking this way. And then next frame, let's get onion skin. Is that going to... Wait, no, this is onion skin. There we go. Now I can see the previous panel. And I'm going to have him a little closer. I'm so embarrassed. Not embarrassed, but like if there's anyone here right now that knows what they're doing and is watching me, my sincerest apologies. Command is select, and then let's move this sideways more. Yeah, that looks pretty decent because now the leg is lined up better, and then this leg is settled. Cool. So now it's just like him stepping in. That's really not exciting. Actually, you know what? Let me move it back to the side a bit more. I've changed my mind. Cool. So that's that shot. Boom. Easy. And then now we have him walking. Oh, I drew him walking on the bee thing, I guess. Didn't know that. He's a background item, so I don't know why I focused on him. What I actually need to focus on is Maya, because she is sitting in the car and she is trying to call her mom. So I'm gonna, off screen, scroll to find Maya and her turnaround. And I'm also gonna very quickly check chat. Okay. Looks like we're doing pretty good. Alright. Cool. Man, why am I so tired? Actually, I know why I'm tired. I had 4 hours of sleep. We might not end up going as long as I was hoping, but that's fine, I think. I don't know. This is more of a test day than anything. Alright. This is the tricky part. It's just getting that base drawing in. As you can see, I have my rule of thirds just as like a guide, and I want to make sure that each individual shot is composed nicely, which does mean that if my backgrounds kind of are a little wonky and aren't serving me correctly, I can ignore them to a degree. So let's see. We are gonna check out my thumbnails on the side. I have got so many things that I need to be referencing all at once. I completely forgot to bring my sketchbook with me. If I brought my sketchbook, then I would have had it physically in front of me and it would have made things significantly faster. Okay. And then I need to check my script just to double check. Where are we? I think she's trying to make a call, right? I'm gonna ignore Eddie. I might delete him and redraw him actually, to be honest, because he's timing wise he's not going to be where he is on the boards so far. Okay, so Maya, oh no, there's some serious latency right now with my lines. That's not great. Oh no, this is so bad. Okay, well, this is a super rough pass, by the way, of everything. Like the actual designed facial expressions and so forth. That's going to come later down the line, at least in my personal process. Right now, I'm just focusing on really blocking out where these characters are, because, bro, I don't know what's up. Okay, oh, whoops. So, whoa, that's not where I want eyeballs looking. One thing that is very important in storyboarding, though, is making sure that the eyes are looking at the right thing, because as humans, as social creatures, we get informed by the people around us and what they're doing. And so if someone looks a certain direction, you're kind of inclined to look that way too. This is the eye line, I believe. Wait, no. I forgot what the technical terminology is, but either way, she is looking down at her phone. If she was looking somewhere else, then the audience would be inclined to look somewhere else. But that's not what I want. Okay. Oh, these lines are so delayed, you guys. I don't know why it's this bad. Well, I do know why it's this bad. There's a lot of stuff open on my phone right now. On my phone? On my computer. There's also maybe a lot of stuff open on her phone. Like that, maybe? Okay. So, the problem here that I'm already encountering is her phone, it's like not quite in the center. It's not on the rule of thirds either. Eddie is on the rule of thirds. So the phone should probably be like in the center lower third. So I can do that by moving things around. Let's rotate. Let's kind of awkwardly squish stuff in like that. Yeah. That's good enough. I know her hands look teeny tiny now, but again, this is just basic communication for myself. I'm not presenting these boards to anyone, well, except for you guys. So it's fine. They're enough for me. But if I was to pitch this somewhere, I would tidy up my boards a little bit. And it doesn't mean cleaner lines necessarily. It just, well, like a perfect image. It just means that within the first millisecond of looking at it, you can see what I'm trying to do. Okay. Next panel. She's probably pretty static. She doesn't move very much in this whole thing. To be honest, no one really moves very much in this film. It's quite a slow film. That's fine though. So, I'll read what it says in the script just for context. Eddie, 21, long dark hair, navy turtleneck, fitted brown corduroy pants, brown leather jacket, emerges from the entrance. He carries armfuls of snacks and wine. More snacks spill from his pockets, so I'll be working on that later. A blue 1953 MG is parked in the foreground. I think it's going to be black, by the way, because I'm using a photo for the whole thing. And my dad's car is black. Anyway, parked in the foreground, roof down. Maya, 20, wavy blonde hair, cornflower blue summer dress, lilac cardigan, sits in the passenger seat. Her chin rests on her knees. She stares at her phone as she attempts a call. Okay, well, I've clearly missed the fact that I wanted her chin resting on her knees in this scene. For some reason I thought that I wanted to do that later in the film, but that's fine. Let's tweak that. So, maybe... And you know what? It doesn't need to be super accurate. Like, is her anatomy broken? Probably. That's okay, right? Question mark? Yep. So there you go. And then this is also not the place for nuanced acting. That's something that I'll do when I can really focus shot to shot. But I need to just get that basic timing in first. Beginning and end poses, the like. So I can actually probably copy this and then paste it into the next frame, because I don't think she's moving for this. And also, this is like audio. We have it saying, hello, you've reached the voicemail of so and so and so. But now she's heard the audio. So I'm gonna copy and paste again, but I'm gonna delete a couple things, like her eyes. I'm gonna delete her thumbs. I'm gonna delete her back, and then I'm going to, no, I'm just gonna delete this line because it's annoying me. I'll delete it in all the others too. Lol. So funny. You guys voted for me to storyboard, so if this is boring to you, I'm very sorry, but also that's your problem. I'm kidding. I appreciate any feedback from any of you. Alright, so what I want now is for her pose to be adjusted just a little, where her shoulders kind of scrunch up. Oh, whoops. I didn't want to select her knees too. Hang on. Gonna have to finagle this a little. That's better. Okay, it's selected the dress as well for some reason, but that's okay. So I'm gonna make her shoulders go up a little and her arms squish in. This is not very scientific, but that's fine. This is basic boards. And then I want her to scooch forward here, and then I'll draw a new line to account for that. Then I'm gonna have her squint more and have her eyebrow furrowed down, and I'm gonna have her tilt her head the teeny tiniest amount. Let's move the anchor point to where her neck is, which is there, and then just there you go. So now what's happening with her? Oh, she got hung up on, or went straight to the answering machine, upset. And then I think that it would make sense for her, I don't know if you can, like, hang on. I don't know if, ow. Oh. I don't know if it makes sense, but let me move my camera down for a second. So she has her knees up like this, and she's looking at her phone. God, she is flexible. I think it'd be cool if, like, her chin slides forward as if it's like a sign of defeat. Like, I mean, I don't know how to explain it more than that, but just a really subtle gesture, and I can include that. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by chat every now and then. I'm like, is anything interesting happening over there? Looks like you guys are having a good time. And then, oh wait, do I need more frames? How many more panels do I have of walking? I have plenty. That is not a concern. That's great. Okay, I don't need to copy paste any of that. So here, let me show you what I was talking about. She's gonna tilt her head up. Oh wait, I'm gonna change the anchor point again. She's gonna tilt her head up again. And she's gonna scooch it forward and down. And then the rest of her is gonna lean forward a touch. Like this. And then her arm is gonna swing down slightly. Like that. Oh, you know what? I forgot to twiddle her thumbs in the previous thing. So she had her thumbs open, and then she's gonna press a button. So her thumb goes down. I'm gonna draw a little arrow for myself to remember. Up, as if she's like hanging up the call. She looks, and I'm gonna make her eye. Okay, that's not working. Go in, please. Thank you. The delay on this is still absolutely ridiculous. So, oh my goodness. I am no longer moving the camera. That is so slow. I've not seen Storyboard Pro be like this before. That sucks. Hello. There we go. Cool. And so now, once it's decided to delete, come on, there we go. I'm gonna have her just like look up ahead, because she's now staring into space. Where she's looking is her mind. She's deeply frustrated and nervous and upset. So it's kind of that thing of where your eyes aren't looking anywhere particular, they're just staring into space. Before, she was focused on her phone, but her phone is no longer the object of her focus. Oh gosh, it's moving so slowly. Ugh, crud. I'm gonna have to buy a desktop as soon as I can afford it. Oh no, it's moving too far now. This is so dumb. Okay. Cool. I actually might need to delete a bunch of panels, because I'm going to look at my script, and yeah, she hangs up, and that is it. Let's have her blink once and then return to this pose, because what we do need to account for is Eddie walking up to her. That is what we have left. And then she's going to turn to him ever so slightly. That's what's important. Okay, so I'll duplicate. Let's have her eyes closed. Just for a frame. I realized I didn't give her a mouth. She doesn't really need a mouth, to be honest. Her mouth is closed. And then Command V. Then let's see how many more panels have I got. Perfect, that actually is a good amount. Then I'm gonna have her open her eyes ever so slightly wider, because she spots Eddie approaching. So, actually, yeah, let's just scrap all of that. Actually, it'll be just a tiny bit first, and then in the next panel, she turns more. My stomach is grumbling. I might have to like grab a snack, and you might have to hear me crunching on food for a bit, which apologies in advance if that's what I do end up doing. Okay, so I'm gonna make her head turn ever so slightly. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna fake it. Actually, you know what? I don't need to move it that much. We're also gonna make her head tilt up a touch, just a tiny bit. My family chat is going wild right now on my phone. I should probably put my phone away, because I don't need to be listening to that. Okay, and so now she's looking more. I'm going to test this out in a second and see if it feels convincing enough. I just realized her arm is tangenting with the car. Too late now. I'll fix it later, and when I do like my second pass. That's okay. Normally, each production varies with how cleaned up the boards are and how many panels you actually have. With people working completely on their own, often the case is that it stays as messy as it currently is, because they know what they're planning to do. With TV, often it's very cleaned up because they send these boards overseas, and there is basically zero communication until those scenes have been animated and sent back. And so you want to make sure there's as little room for error as possible. With in-house studios and like big productions in film, usually you have these really artful boards, especially if it's CG. The drawings don't need to be near as accurate, but the expressions need to be really important and then way more cinematic and so forth. And then you have like YouTube, where the people who make them don't have time to fully animate a film, and so the finished product is the animatic and is cleaned up because of that. And that is kind of what I'm going for. I'm nervous that I won't be able to animate 7 to 8 minutes in time, and I don't want to spend 3 years on this film. So I'm going to have very limited animation in places, and I think a good solution is to have nice and cleaned up boards, so then 1, if I don't end up having a finished animation, I can use them. 2, they're a really great starting point for my animation, where basically I actually use that frame. I don't need to draw a new drawing. And so it'll make me feel a little bit more confident when it gets to that animation phase. Yeah. Okay, what is she doing here? She's gonna turn her head a bit more, I think. Actually, you know what? I don't want her looking at Eddie too much. Let's see, how does she look right now? I'll have her do one more thing where her shoulders settle down, a tiny bit. Just that. And then she looks back down, and that is the perfect number of panels for that. Okay, oh, now my stomach is singing. That's so good. I really love that for me. Okay, so what I mean is her head. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can hear my stomach rumbling, but that is really something. Like that. Actually, let's maybe not have it go so far. It's all tiny bits of tweaking and finagling from here on out, basically. That's the way it goes. I'm gonna extend this back like that, and then I'm gonna have her eyes shift forward like that, which then makes it feel like she's turned her head a tiny bit more. Hopefully, anyways. Oh, whoops. I wanted to rotate. Thank you. How does that look? Let me just test to see if it doesn't look terrible or not. Beep, bop. Okay, cool. Now I can adjust the body to match. I'm gonna first rotate the arm down. Here's the pivot point. Like that. And then I'm gonna pivot this separately so that it doesn't tangent too much with the car. Like with the angle of the car anyways. And then I'm gonna get all of that. Oh wait, hang on, no, I don't want all of it. Oh, this is so tricky, guys. Just selecting things. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Ba 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 ba. Okay. I don't know what this mysterious line is, but it's too late now. It's part of the gang. And then just the arm. Gonna drop it slightly. Actually, wait, this needs to come rotate and then actually shift it back. I'm super duper improving this. And the knee, I don't think needs to go up. It can stay pretty down. Okay, let's see how that looks. Looks like her head gets bigger. Oh, this mysterious line is her chin. I'd like that to accompany her, please, with the rest of her face. Otherwise it makes her head look massive without that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let's tweak it here too then. Let's just see without that for a second. I don't know how I feel about the fact that her ear is what's like on this focal point, because we're not focusing on her ear. I'm meant to focus on her face. But I guess at least it's like kind of in this region. Oh, whatever. I'll do like some style frames here and there, and like do some tidied up stuff, and it should be okay. I'll tweak it there. Okay, so then duplicate. Let's turn this back on. Duplicate that. Duplicate that. Duplicate that. Because then I'm gonna leave Eddie, like he needs a little bit more animation in these panels. Before I move on, I am gonna grab a snack or something. I know what? I have a banana to hand right here, but I'm not gonna eat it on camera, so I'm gonna pause for like 2 minutes. I don't have a stream will be back soon thing, but I do have a stream starting soon one. So enjoy that. I'll transition. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you couldn't hear me whilst I was munching on a banana. But someone asked, okay, the Sandy artist asked, am I inspired by Eddie from Stranger Things? I have no idea who Eddie is. I watched up to season 2 of Stranger Things and then haven't been bothered to watch the rest. I'm sure it's good and whatever. So I don't know if Eddie is a character from season 1 or 2, or if he's a later addition. But no, the reason I chose the name Eddie is actually because it's my dad's name, and I think it's a cool name. I really like the name. My dad doesn't use that name. He uses his middle name, so it doesn't feel too weird either. It's just a cool name if you ask me. I love names that end in E sound. Like I have my character Janie. I have Charlie. Charlie is like one of my favorite names. When I was little, I was really insecure about my name because it's like, oh, so foreign. I don't fit in with the other kids. You know, like that kind of thing you go through when you're little. And so I wanted a quote unquote normal name, which in my head was Charlotte. And so I went with Charlotte. God, this tea is cold, and I left it brewing for too long, and it's green tea, so that's no good. Anyway, all right. What should we do? Should I draw in Eddie now, or should I move on to the next panels? Thinking. Okay, so actually, let's do the dialogue. Let's figure that out for just this shot. So we have silence. I'm gonna add now. It'll be, what did I call this? It'll be like answering machine. Yeah, answering machine. Answering machine. Hello. You have. Actually, no. It's just gonna be hello, and then the rest of the line will play out on the second panel. Hello. You have reached the voice mail of Anast. I think I changed the name to Marina. Except I didn't update it in my script. That's fine. Actually, also, okay, strange thing. When I type O's, I's, and H's on my laptop, it desperately wants to double or even triple the amount of that letter I use. I guess my keys are getting sticky or something. Not physically sticky, but it's a total pain. This is making me realize, actually, I'm going to duplicate this panel, okay? Because I want her facial expression to happen first and to her to hunch in, and then for her to hang up the call. It's like a 1-2 as opposed to trying to stick them together too much. It's little decision. Oh gosh, what am I doing? What's happening? It's little decisions like that that are kind of important at this stage, or maybe not necessarily this stage, but yeah, just a little later down the line, I guess. But it needs to be ready by the time you're actually animaticking, more or less. It's not necessarily the timing of each action, but the sequence of each action. Like, am I opening my mouth wide and putting my hands up at the same time, or am I putting my hands up then opening my mouth? Like, that kind of thing. Anyway, so now it's like she's waiting, the phone is ringing. Hello, you have reached the voicemail of Maddie, and then the button to show that she's hung up on the phone. Cool, waiting. She looks to the side, and Eddie's there. And then now, Eddie, he goes, still no luck on the last panel. Let's do that. Still no luck. Boom. And then, whoops, I'm still in typing mode. Bap. And then what I have on here on my script, it says Maya hangs up, still no luck. Maya looks down, nope. So I think we need maybe 2 panels here. One where she's still looking at Eddie so that the shots hook up nicely, and then one where she looks down. Actually, let's get 3, because then on the third one is when she says nope, just to indicate pacing a little more. So I'm gonna Command C, Command B, Command B. Actually, you know what? No, I can copy and paste the whole thing once I've drawn her in. So this angle is now like a close-up. It's still ever so slightly like pointing that way, so her face isn't completely straight on. This is going to be a good chance for me to take a look at her facial expression sheet that I did, because I need that reference still. I'm not confident enough in drawing any of these characters. Okay, so let's say I'm going to move this around in a second and shrink things and whatever, but her eyes are like here. And her eyebrows are like that. She's not quite looking down in this. I know she's looking up. So, actually, yeah. I need to have a look up more. Just for this. And then she looks back down afterwards. Gonna indicate that kind of roughly just by sliding some stuff around. And then just got like kind of a big, actually no, her chin isn't that big. Kind of like that. And her face is, one thing when I design characters is I love moving the mouth around quite a lot. Like she can have her mouth maybe not that far, but like up here, and her front teeth, even though they're like set into your skull, I'm okay with having them jump about in lip sync. So sometimes my mouths are like all the way down at the bottom, which actually might be what I do, where she's like that. Just a bit of an indication of the ear. So design-wise, she has this little curl thing on the front of her head, and I think it's really cute and stops it from feeling too empty up there. But I can see it posing a bit of a challenge where it might get in the way of her eyebrows and her eyes, and it might tangent a bunch. So there's a chance I'll have to get rid of it, but I will figure that out in these storyboards. This is going to be a time for me to see if this design is feasible or not. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna zoom this out just so I can get like a slightly better idea of where I imagine everything to be placed. So this is the end of her seat, meaning this is where I'd like her to be, and I'd like her to be a lot smaller. And I've squished her down just a touch. Okay, then her eyes are like roughly central and on the upper third. Cool. Then she was leaning forward pretty much, so her back is going to be like ever so slightly up, and also we're angling down at her just a touch. So actually, you know what, she has very sloped shoulders in the design. Don't know why I did that, because that is a right pain to to articulate. But there you go, those are her knees. Does this make full sense? Probably not, but am I doing it anyway? Sure. If it looks good, who cares, right? I'm gonna just adjust this slightly. Yeah, I don't know how long it takes for other people to draw the characters and stuff. I think I take too long, but I really, really don't know. Like, I don't think I have a point of reference. Anyway, she's looking up, and then I'm gonna copy paste the image. Actually, I don't need that weird ass extra line that I drew. I'm gonna do that. Let's zoom back in so that you guys can see a little bit more. You know what I can also do? I can move this down and move this way and move this way. Hang on, I need to see where my face cam is so that it doesn't get too obstructed. Let me just really quickly edit my face cam. Can I do that whilst I'm streaming? I think I can. Oh, so many things today. Artboard, webcam. Aha, here we go. Alright. There you go. I'm smaller now. Hee hee. Just gonna take a quick check of the chat. Okay. Cool. Alright. I can't read your name, it's just 2 lines, but you inspire me so much, love your work. Thank you so much, that means a lot. I really appreciate it. Let's open up my stuff again. Gosh, I do need a 3rd monitor. So yeah, what I'm focusing on now is her like tilting down. She's leaning down again. But again, it's not just her head, it's like her whole body. So I'm gonna shift it just a touch, and then I'm gonna, I think, just completely redraw her head, possibly, and get rid of the shoulders and stuff. Actually, you know what? I copy and pasted the whole thing, and I'm only keeping the knees. That's great. And I might not even keep the knees. And something that you need to keep in mind when animating a shot is characters move. And so you need to make sure that the characters have somewhere to move and that it looks good when they move. So for example, that opening frame, I balanced it out so her eyes are in that top third in the center. But now that she's looking down, she's kind of, what is it? Now is it like awkwardly placed. And so I need to come up with a solution for that. Also, she leans way more than that. Like this. Because she's so flat-faced that she kind of looks a little silly. I'll show you what I'm referencing. It's this image in the center here. Her head is not tilted that far down, but you can see how pushed she gets. Okay. And I think I can move this whole hairline down. Yeah, I'm still very much getting used to drawing the characters, which is why I want to, you know, do more of the whole pose sheets, expression sheets thing, because that's practice. And here she's looking away from Eddie, because Eddie's over to this side of the screen, because that's the screen, that's the side of the screen he's occupying. It's typically a good idea in storyboarding, when you have especially like two characters or multiple anyway, to have them generally stay to one side of the screen each, so then like in our brains we kind of know who is who, and it gives us a better indication of the space these characters are in. Yeah, it's very useful. I'm gonna make this bigger and higher up and rotate it ever so slightly. Cool. And then her hair thing is gonna flop right in front because she's so tilted now. And I can stick this hair out more. Does this look right? I don't know. What is my eraser? Is it... I don't remember what my eraser is. Like what shortcut? Maybe it's E. What is E? Great, E for erase. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then gonna have her shoulders come up even higher. Thinking time. Thinking. Because this framing kind of does suck. Hang on. This also sucks. This is the stuff that I'm not so good at, is I have these really great ideas in my head, and then when it comes to actually executing them, nope. Nowhere near as successful. It's like, you know, when you have a dream, and in your head, you're picturing it so perfectly in your dream, but then the second you try and actually physically form it in any way, it's impossible because you're using dream logic. Anyway, her head has gotten bigger. Have you noticed? Well, you know what, actually that is kind of useful because I think she does need to be a touch bigger, and we can have her here. So now her eyes are still central, but she's actually moved to the side a little because I've made her bigger. And so yeah, now her like head thing is sort of the focus, which isn't necessarily what I'm going for, but it's something. God, it's just so much tweaking and finagling to make this feel right. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to like tilt up like this. And then, yeah. Let's see, does this feel right? kind of need to, it's so solid. I like it when it's at 50%. Let's do that. I guess 51. No. 50 and 50. Oh, it keeps wanting to be 51. There you go. Maybe it's just too big of a move, actually. I'm just trying to think, how can we move this in a convincing way without compromising... Oh, wait, whoops. Oh, I forgot I drew this out. How can we do this in a way that feels natural, but also keeps the camera nicely placed and all of that jazz? I think we can tilt everything up a little, and then I'm just gonna move these bits back to where they were so that there's this indication of movement. Okay, let's see. Again, this is not super accurate, right? I'm okay with things being a little askew in the meantime because this is not final. Like here, let's change her jawline. It's gonna fit in a little better, but now she's not quite sitting on her knees. Oh, bum. You guys, storyboarding sucks. See, and like, I can't tell if I'm being too perfectionist, not perfectionist enough, all of it. So, yeah. Okay, I say we keep going for 1 more hour. By the way, just an FYI, because we've hit 1 p.m. Bap. At this point, I'm just trying to get all the shots ready and laid out. Oh yeah, so this one was tricky. I remember I had 2 different angles and I couldn't decide which one I wanted for this shot. This is like a shot where Eddie's holding up some drinks, where this one makes more sense because you've been seeing them from the front side, but then this one has the, what's it called? The store in the background. It's been more consistent with the angle of the camera, especially the angle we've seen them at. I think I'll stick with this one for now, but we can change it up later. Gonna make this lower opacity. This is just me procrastinating, just trying to give my eyes a little bit of a break before I go back and see if the framing looks okay. Although one thing to note is I'm looking at it quite big. A really good way to look at something and see if it compositionally works is seeing it in thumbnail form, seeing it really small. And you know what's great about StoryboardPro? Is it has thumbnail form right down at the bottom. So I'm looking at it on the screen and it looks fine actually. I think I was being way too harsh on myself. So let's go with it. Let's stick with what we've got. Boom. So now what I'm doing is duplicating, and I'm gonna make a talk. So I'm gonna move the jaw just a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna get rid of the mouth line and have her say nope. She doesn't need that much of her teeth showing. This is where it's like I want the mouth shapes to be kind of accurate. To a degree, obviously there's going to be multiple mouth shapes per word, but or per sentence especially. Nope. I think I can make it more like that. But I want it to look sad. Oh, the pain of being accurate with stuff. Yeah, we'll stick with that, but I'll shift it over a tiny bit. And so here in dialogue, it says Maya. Nope. Full stop. Mauya. That's not who we're talking about. Okay. Fun fact: Maya is half Russian. Her mom is Russian. Maya is just a cool name that I like. But one of the struggles between the two, dynamic-wise, is the mother is like, overbearing and controlling, and my Russian mother is trying to call me right now as we speak. I'll talk to her later. Anyway, and funny enough, she voices this mother. But yeah, so she's very possessive. And the way you say mine in Russian is Maya. Это моя. So the mom literally named her child mine. There you go. Alright, actually, you know what? Let me just very quickly take a look at what my mother is trying to say. I'll be like, oh, never mind. I'll text her later. Ugh, so much social interaction. Wait, she's gonna keep calling me if I don't answer her now. I'll tell her now. Mama, I'm live streaming to YouTube. And all like 50 of you viewing can see that. Can't talk right now. Sorry. Is it an emergency? Boop. Okay. Anyway, where were we? Okay, well this is a nice easy shot. Took longer than it needed to, but yeah, she's looking up at Eddie, looks down, nope. And then next shot. What is the next shot? Let's see. I think this is where Eddie's like, ah shit, sorry man. And we need to make sure it hookups nicely. Hang on. Actually, let's look at the chat for a bit. Oh, hey Tamiko. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is for my Calart's second/third year film because it's like 7 to 8 minutes long. What if you hit her mouth with her knees? Ooh. Oh, hey, that's nice. I like that a lot. I'm gonna note that, and yeah, very. Because also I think her knees should be in front. I don't know why I made them behind. Okay, I'll do that. I will definitely do that. Very mouth. Behind. Yeah, we've got someone who knows what he's doing, chatting. Behind knees. Thank you. I told you, it's in the thumbnail. Don't know what's going on, but I am brave enough to be showing you all anyway. How long have I been boarding on this? Good question. I mean, I spent maybe a week on it back in January, February, and then totally abandoned it because I worked on a different friend's project. And yeah, 7 to 8 minutes is like a lot. I've set myself up for disaster, kind of, but that's why I'm more leaning towards like a really polished animatic, like lots of style frames. Yeah, it's I'm gonna need some help. I might actually have to hire people to get this put together, but we shall see. We shall see. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Always answer mom's calls, friendly reminder to everyone. Yeah, again, if you've read the script, it sort of says the same, which is ironic seeing as I didn't answer my mom's call, but yeah. In your short film, Warm Welcome, did you get inspired by the animation style of the short film Un diable dans la poche, I can't pronounce that, by Gobelins? Yes, we actually talk about that in the making of video for Warm Welcome. Yeah, some of my friends suggested it stylistically, and we all agreed that that was a cool direction to try and take things. Anyway, okay, so let's see. What do I want to happen in this scene? So this is where acting is coming, and that's what storyboarding is, really, is blocking out where the characters are going and what happens from A to B, but also this is where the personalities shine through. You can only take that so far with a design, but if the characters aren't doing anything, are they really, do they have a personality? And Eddie, he's like some typical popular jock guy on the surface, but he's a goofball that really cares about his girlfriend, and so I want that to shine through, but I also want him to be a bit awkward about it because he doesn't really care about her mom. He cares about Maya, but mom not answering is like, this is a little bit of a pain. Let's get my script up to review. I think it's worth getting help if you can. It's going to teach you new skills. Yeah, totally. I've really enjoyed working with people, being in charge of people. So I wonder if there's a way I can do that in a manageable way whilst at school. Because I managed a project for Ethan Becker, which was a really good time last summer. So yeah. Okay. Oh, right. So before Eddie replies, he as he's about to speak, his phone rings, because there's this jarring juxtaposition of him not wanting to answer any calls. He's trying to spend his time with his girlfriend, and Maya desperately trying to call her mother, and she getting more and more frustrated every time she hears his phone ring. It like makes her heart like hurt, basically. It makes her scared. Anyway, let's see. How am I going to draw Eddie? I'm going to make him B layer. Oh, I haven't drawn Eddie enough to feel confident in him, but let's give it a hearty go, shall we? He might end up like dead ass just being a full stick figure for this, because also I don't know how he's carrying his stuff and all of that. I'm gonna give him thinking thumb. Facial expressions are my reference. I also think that he's a bit taller than that. He's like up here. Oh yeah, he's more like up here. Why did I frame it like this? Well, he is leaning over a little like that because he's got arms full of groceries. And then he's got his hair swoopies. And I'm gonna delete these lines. Doot. And doot. What? Now it just looks like he's got giant bahongadonks. That is terrible. I'm really exposing myself today with my drawing skills. They have absolutely fallen apart lately. I've not been drawing enough. I don't like drawing. Why am I an artist? Why am I an animator? Okay, that's like good enough for now. I don't really care. Okay, and he is like concerned for her, so he gets some eyebrows. Okay, this is the thing I was saying earlier about like making the eyes look at the right place. Where I don't know where Maya is right now. Hang on. Let's draw her real quick. Just a very quick version of ears, looking sad here. Oh gosh, my hands have gone all weak. I don't know what I'm doing. Arms weak, knees heavy. Wait, knees weak, arms heavy. Oh, she looks cursed. This is so bad. No, I'm just gonna give her dot eyes for now. So much undoing. I'd love to learn, like I'd love to get good enough that I don't feel the pressure to press the undo button constantly, because it's a waste of time and it's like just annoying to do. Okay, well, that can roughly be it. Wow, this is some top tier drawing from me, apparently. Okay, actually wait, no, let's lean that. I'm trying to get her to sit more comfortably on the third whilst also leaning forward a little. Like, the thirds are a guide, they're not a hard and fast rule. I'm very aware of that, but it's, I guess, something that I'm still sticking to at the minute in my storyboarding abilities. Storyboarding is, as you can tell, not my strength. Okay, well now I know where Eddie should look, which is, oh god, how do I do that? There you go. Now he looks like he's looking at her, kind of, right? I think. And he's not super upset. This has been a thing that's been going on, let's say, all day, or all afternoon. So he's kind of used to this behavior at the minute. I'm gonna have just, I don't know what is in his arms. there's just a bunch of stuff spilling all over the place. Cool. And then he gets a call. Oh crap, okay, wait. Okay, Command C, Command V. Gonna delete him. Because I think, actually, no, screw that. I'm gonna, his phone is gonna ring, right? Let's note that down here. Phone rings. I know there's like action notes and stuff on the side, but I just like having it on the panel with me for some reason. Okay, and then I'm gonna have him be like, oh, like awkward, surprise. And then his hair is something like this. Okay, then I'll tilt it up a tiny bit and shift it up. Oh, we're getting dangerously close to the top of the frame. Okay, well I guess I'll have to move him slightly down here. Well, I guess he could be leaning in to check on his girlfriend. That's my excuse. Wow, Eddie, you're already looking worse for wear today. This is so bad. Can you tell that I'm not very good at solid drawing when I'm not thinking? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna have his like jump up slightly, squeeze his arms in as he like acknowledges that his phone is ringing. Something like that. I don't know. Stuff is falling. Where is his phone? That's something I need to know too. I'm assuming it's going to be in, let's see, back pocket? I haven't drawn any pockets on him, so we're going to say back pocket because we won't see that very much. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if that's the case, I kind of don't want him to look down just yet, because now it looks like he's looking at his groceries, which is the next little moment. Delete. Oh wait, whoops. Okay, whatever. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. And aim and Maya does not need to move between this panel. Hang on, between this panel and the next. And then he dumps the stuff. Come on, Anya, let's do that. I'm like emotionally preparing myself for every single thing because I don't want to draw it. Okay, well. Actually, he doesn't need to be this far down. What does he? I can make him a tiny bit higher up. Yeah. And then he like dumps all the bags. Whoa, amazing. Cool. His eyes are huge. He is... Actually, no, you know, his eyes are not the biggest. I don't know who has the biggest eyes, but my characters all have big eyes. Which isn't normally what I do. Normally, I have beady eyes, these little dot eyes, so that's new for me, I suppose. Okay. Keep it up, pick up the DoorDash. Good stuff, Matt. Thanks to Nico. I'm assuming it's gone by now, but thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Let's just take a look at this. Charlie, any tips for producing work quickly? I've got my illustration animation final deadline in 2 weeks. As you can see, the pace at which I'm working right now, I'm probably not the best, not the best to ask that. Something asked, did you watch the Cowart short film, The Twins? Did you? If you did watch it, what is your opinion about it? Yeah, Michelle's one of my, well, we used to be classmates. We actually went to summer school together back in 2018. Yeah, I think it's a good film. It makes sense that it was like one of the ones that blew up this year. There's always a film every year from CalArts that goes viral, and hers looks good. The story is very palatable to like a wide audience. Good thumbnails, you know. And of course it's like beautifully boarded and animated. So yeah, it makes sense that it got as popular as it did. Well deserved. She's very, very, very hardworking. I mean, almost everyone at CalArts is, but yeah, she's great. Let's see. Could be on the car seat since that's where he's looking. Well, he had it in his phone. Sorry, he had it with him because I want him to fumble to like get it out of his pocket. It's just like which pocket I was thinking. Like, was it in like a breast pocket or something? But he doesn't have any of that in his design, and that's too frontward to animate, and I'm lazy. I'd rather just his arm disappear for a couple of frames and then return, you know? Maybe he's holding the phone with his shoulder, or is on a phone call and then drops it when he looks down. I see what you're saying, and I like that idea, but I want him to not want to be on his phone, whereas Maya does. So it's like a switch between those. Oh, hi, smiley face org. Fancy seeing you here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for wishing me luck. You're a boarding legend, so you're just an everything legend. So I feel a little ashamed almost of of the current panel that you're seeing. Whoopsies. Okay. Also, I'm making his arms way too skinny. The design of his sleeves is that they're broad at the top. Oh well, not too important. Okay. It's better. She deserves it. Let's see. You think that this will be the film that blows up next year? Ha, I hope, if I finish. Speaking of incredible, phenomenal films, you guys have got to see Smiley Face Org's film. Let me link it. I'm finding it for you because, oh my gosh. No, seriously. If you don't know, we worked together on several things actually, but we did Warm Welcome together. So any of the like phenomenal animation you saw, that was Janelle. So hang on. Linking it in the chat. Seriously, if you haven't watched this already, you're missing out. Here you go. It's you know, it's done very well. It's got 100,000 views. Nice job. I've watched this like 3 times since you uploaded it. It's just so good. It really is. I don't know if you know, this is me. It's confession time. One time I saw you in the labs, and I think you had your phone up. You're like holding it, listening to the audio, and your screen was facing back at me. And so your back was to me, but I was looking at your screen, getting a sneaky peek. And I was so like overwhelmed by how good it looked that I started crying. Like good crying, like happy tears. And then before you noticed me, I like turned back to my work because like it's so silly. But anyway, really beautiful stuff. Vitor Castro Art said, hi Annie, just wanted to say that your short film The Flood is incredible. The art style and story is unique. Thank you so much. Yeah, that one is not officially released yet. I cannot wait to finally be allowed to actually post it to, what is it called? I can't wait to post it to my YouTube channel. It's so old now at this point as well. It's kind of wild. Like, what is it? I was 18 when I started that project, and then the pandemic happened, and now it's doing like the film festival circuit. You belonged to the BBC for a while, so I couldn't do anything with it for a long time. And yeah, as a history nerd, Smiley's work always satisfies me in a way few other animations do. Yep. It's always an honor to work alongside Smiley. Truly. I don't know, man. I'm getting all emotional. Someone else that that I've known since I was 17, which is kind of wild. It's really fun seeing people grow. Okay. Anyway, I should probably get back to... What am I doing? panel wise. He's got a fumble for his phone. That's what he's doing. Oh, Eddie, why are you causing me problems? He needs to look awkward. I need to get these facial expressions down in the next pass. For now, they're not really tickling my pickle. I hate that I just said that. That was really awful. Wow. Okay. He looks too upset. He needs to have an awkward smile thing. Like a grimace. Okay, that's not too bad. Actually needs to be squinting. Not that much. Ah, why is it so difficult? And also the eye shape that I've given him makes it really hard for him to like, what's it called? Like look to it at the extremes, but yeah. Anyway. Hello, it's so exciting and inspiring to see you work. Good luck on your work. I love what you do. Thank you so much, XD Zoro. I like working on stuff too sometimes. Sometimes I get very bored. Sometimes I get really stressed, but having the support of you guys is what keeps me going, truly, because I do it sometimes for me, but also, I don't know, I really, like, my life goal is to inspire people, which sounds cheesy, and I know it sounds like kind of fake, but it truly is. Like, yeah, even if it's just one person, that's someone that I've inspired. I've had people actually come up to me and cry before, which is very sweet, very awkward, but like, I don't know, it's so meaningful to me knowing that I can be a part of people achieving their dreams, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's a little self-serving of like, yeah, I was involved in that, but yeah, it's good. It's good to see people be happy and fulfilling their goals in life. Okay, I want to just redo this line real quick because whatever. Yeah. This looks really awkward. He is too chunky. He's such a triangle. He needs to look more like this. And then, yeah, I'm gonna redo this arm. Like that. Sure. I mean, he's kind of hidden behind the wheel here anyway. Is he? I guess he's left-handed. Are they both left-handed? Oh, that's the other thing. You need to like be consistent, right? And some small things don't really matter, like what hand someone uses. But I like that consistency. I want to make sure that, you know, this character, if they're left-handed, they stay left-handed. Because otherwise, you're cheating. That's not... There's very few ambidextrous people in this world. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna... like... rummage. That's what he's doing now. Rummaging in his pocket for his fawn. Just like a silly little movement thing. You don't need to move your whole image if it's really subtle, but I think it looks nice to just have like a tiny bit of human movement stuck in there. Okay, all right. And then I want him to not even like really bring his phone out. I just want him to like do the absolute bare minimum just to hang that phone up and then put it back and then pay attention to Maya again. Yeah, so let's see. Come on, see, I'm just gonna duplicate, what's it called? Just like so that rummage move is in there, just and then now, actually, you know what, I can just redo this whole thing. Oh, I didn't draw all the crap in here, all the bags. Oh well. Okay. I haven't drawn Eddie in this expression sheet from like a really extreme down angle. That's unfortunate. So I'm kind of flubbing my way through. Yeah, he's not looking down really in any of these. Can you see? Like the most he's looking down is in this pose, but that's not nearly enough. Like I don't know what his hair's doing. Like how does the top of his, like his hair floofies, how do they connect to the rest of his head? I don't know. I didn't think this through. Well, now I know it's something I need to figure out. So if I do another round of expression sheets, it's that's something that's going to be at the forefront of my planning. Okay. Let's see. At this point, I'm like getting really tired. I might nap after this. And so I am I feel like I'm kind of running out of things to say at this point in time anyways. Has anyone got any questions? Oh god, now the wheel is in the way. This is so annoying. You know what? Let's just move him over here. Like that, as if he's leaning to the side. And then I can make this go this way. Okay, that'll have to do. You can probably barely tell what I've drawn here, because I can barely tell what I've drawn. That's okay. Not really, but good enough for me. Yeah. These arms are kind of janky AF. He has like puffy shoulders, like as in his jacket, and so, oh gosh. These shoulder sections don't actually align with where his actual shoulder is. Okay, well that's gonna have to do. Alright. What advice do you have for setting deadlines in film festivals? Do you think that's a good catalyst to finish projects? I have personally never directly submitted to a film festival. Fun, not so fun fact. I'm not going to get into too much detail because it's kind of an ongoing situation, but someone was kind of like pretending to be me, except took out my name from everything, but kept all my work and my bio and all of that, and submitted my films to film festivals as if it was their own. Now that's pretty wild. So yeah, not so fun. And like things like The Flood is being submitted to film festivals, but the studio I worked with on that is doing it on my behalf. I need to get better at film festival submissions. But anyway, aside from that question, the setting deadlines part, I know the way that I'm reading the question is you're talking about setting deadlines that tie in with film festival submission time. Is that right? But either way, also, yeah, that whole like stealing my identity thing is pretty dramatic, pretty intense. So maybe I'll say it for a story time someday once it's all figured out. And if that person is watching me, dude, I don't know you, and don't pretend to know me. So, anyway, yeah, so deadlines is one of my biggest struggles. And I think one of the really important things is to hold yourself accountable. And if you cannot hold just yourself accountable, then have someone else also hold you accountable. Like find someone you trust who can genuinely be disappointed in you, if that makes sense. Like whether that's someone you're directly working with, or it's, you know, that's more intense, or if it's just someone who is following along with your project, then it's like it adds that little bit of pressure for you. Then there's some of the really scary deadlines, which I've decided, like, okay, I'm not doing this to myself. In my why I was away from YouTube video, I kind of detailed it in a roundabout way of like, I could publicize, like, I'm gonna post this next week, and then if I don't do it, then I feel like a failure, and I feel like I've let people down and all of that. Which honestly, I was very close to not streaming today because I went to bed so late, and was like stressed about it and everything. But I posted, I said in my community tab, like, hey, I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. I said I'm thinking about it, but yeah, that is an option though. Just keep that in mind. I'm trying to think what else I can say regarding deadlines tied in with film festivals, because I don't want to just ramble about nothing otherwise. How do you stay committed, stay interested in a project long enough to see it to fruition? So I'm going to move on from the deadline one for a second. At least I might not come back to it. We'll see if I remember. But you're asking a question that I would love to know the answer to, because I don't know. Part of why this film is taking me so long, and part of why it is like 3 mini stories, is because I get bored super easily, like super duper easily, which is kind of another section of why I like the idea of being a producer, because that feels a little more fast paced. I'm doing a lot more different things. Hang on, I need to fix these eyebrows. And so it's like keeping me on my toes. There's nothing is the same every day, and I much prefer that than like just character designing constantly or animating frame after frame after frame. I'm not built for it. And so some of that is being aware. Sometimes you just cannot really quite change that about yourself. And so instead you focus on having to do as little of the thing you dislike as possible. And when I say thing you dislike, I think it's always good to, like, I hate storyboarding. I have to do it though. But I'm also working towards making it a more enjoyable thing for me. So, what was I going to say about that? But there's some elements, like for example, animating on twos. Do you need to animate on twos every single like scene for your film? That's a lot of work. If your goal, like longer term, is to be really good and fluid with animation, maybe that's the right move for you. If your goal is to just tell a story, do you need to do that? I don't think so. And I have a habit of trying to do buttery smooth animation, but I just know it's not feasible for this project. And so it's also going to be helpful to me that I don't have to draw as many frames, meaning I'm not going to get so stuck and bored with animating. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to block out this pose and I'm confusing myself for no reason. Okay, he's still, I want him to like still be putting this thing away. So his arm, okay, his shoulder needs to be like here. Oh, these are the messiest sketches I've done in a hot minute. I say messy as in there's just a bunch of like throwaway lines. If it's just like, if you were here for the stream when I was showing my thumbnails, those are incredibly messy, but in a different way. Each line was doing its job. Did it do a good job? Not necessarily, but yeah. Vita Castro asked what my favorite part of the animation pipeline is, and I answered it earlier in the stream where I really love producing. So that's kind of someone who oversees the whole pipeline. So that's a bit of a cop-out answer, but that's what I would want to do. Also, yes, Merp, I am going to upload this to YouTube. I'm just going to keep it up as is, I think. You're going to have to endure me fumbling around. But Anyway, yes. So producing is like job-wise what I like. Aside from that, design is so fun to me because that's like the beginnings of something. The storyboards are meant to be invisible, if that makes sense. You know, you occasionally get films that are super cinematic and have like really standout shots that are like super iconic. Like I think of Stanley Kubrick films and so forth. But for the most part, the storyboards are there to guide, like just to guide the story along and let the viewer, like you're not supposed to notice cuts most of the time. You want it to be, actually let's move this up. You want there to be like a seamless blend from moment to moment so you don't get distracted by what the camera is doing. What's it called? I also love writing. I have only been this script for this film is the third script I've ever written, but the actual process of telling a story through words is really great. I mean, fun fact, I don't think in pictures. I mean, like I can if I want to, but primarily my brain chooses to work in words. I talk constantly in my head and out loud. So that kind of lends itself to writing. Does Roy work at Cal Arts? I don't think he's been a student for this long. Lol. He's like the music guy for all the films. Roy did go to Cal Arts, but he is still very much a part of the community, and he's like local, so it's like he's always around and he's always willing to work on people's films. But I believe this coming year is gonna be the first year where he has to be a little more selective because he is now an industry individual. He's out making his money. And that is more important, you know, to pay rent and so forth than make some pretty films and not get paid. Storyboarding is like a blueprint. That's very true. But it's like the story materials you're working with come from the design phase, and the story materials you're working with, the visuals are coming from design, the story is coming from the writing. Sometimes. There's obviously some people who, like there's some shows and things that are board based, but so pre-production aside from storyboarding is something I love. Production, don't really care for it. You don't have much, you influence what the final image on the screen is going to be, but you don't have an influence so much on the story. Post-production I think is cool to do compositing, but again, it's like you're not really influencing the actual core of what's happening. Someone did that already for you. Actually, you know what? I don't want him smiling. It doesn't fit in with his dialogue. I need it to be a little more concerned. It's more neutral. Like that. Okay. And dialogue-wise, let's duplicate this real quick. Sorry, I've been kind of neglecting these boards for a while. Oops. But now I wanted to say... shit. Sorry. What are his lines exactly? Also, yes, Roy is going to be doing the music for this film. BT dubs. We have some plans. Actually, you know what? Do you guys want something exclusive? Let's see if I can make this work. Hang on. I'm going to open Spotify real quick. I have a very messy... Ooh, let's not have it on that screen. Thank you. I have a very messy playlist. I am ridiculously bad with playlists. I just make like one playlist a year usually, or two maybe. And that's what I listen to for a bunch of time. And I'm bad at organizing them and naming them and all of it. But I do have a playlist of the music that kind of, in various parts of the film, fits the vibe of what I want my film to sound like. Yeah, so let me copy link. Wait, what? Okay. Here, if you guys want My Spotify playlist, I feel really exposed now. I should probably like make all my playlists private. I don't know how to do that. Oh, who cares? Now you're gonna see my ridiculous taste in music. But yeah, if you want to listen to what I listen to when I work on this film, there you go. Lots of Russian stuff, lots of French stuff, lots of melancholy music. And this is all inspiration that I'm passing on to Roy for the track, the soundtrack. Because I also have diegetic music in this film. Diegetic, if you don't know, diegetic, whatever. It means music that the characters can hear too, or sounds that the characters can hear too. How important do you think it is for storyboards to have nice drawings, assuming the story is told well? Nice drawings are not important at all. I mean, look at these guys. I mean, honestly, my drawings aren't even serving that basic need, the basic need of clarity. If it's obvious what your characters are doing, that's what's important. Like, where are they standing? What are their expressions? What are they looking at? What are their poses? That's the base level. But it depends on film, TV, and so forth. If you're working for yourself, doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. If you're working for TV, they usually like really clean boards with really accurate drawings, because when they send it off to studios abroad to animate, there's very little communication. There's often a language barrier, and they want it to be as foolproof as possible. And often you don't have the time to make fixes, if that makes sense. Like if they animated something incorrectly, too late. RIP. They haven't got the budget for it. If it's a feature film, usually the boards can be a lot looser and they're more interpretive, but often they're kind of prettier, if that makes any sense. Like they're a bit more free flowy, and sometimes even in color. Okay, what am I doing now? What's the next pose? Eddie's phone rings. He fumbles with the groceries and declines the call. And he goes, shit, man, sorry, which is what I've got here. Oh, it shit. Comma, man, full stop. And then, sorry will also be in this line. Sure. Then next pose, he's going to say, well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? I think we can just do one pose for that line right now, and I can beef it up later, add more frames in between when I tidy things up. Okay, Eddie. Well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? I was really hoping that I would get this whole scene done in this stream today. Didn't happen. I know I spent like the first hour talking about other stuff, or like other parts of the film, but still, man, I am really slow. Well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? Question mark. Question mark. Yeah, that's going to be his line here. I should probably draw Maya differently now, because she's been so still this whole time. I haven't really thought about her at all. Let's take a look. No, actually, let's see what we've got so far. We're missing big chunks in all of these, but yeah, stuff happening outside. Eddie walks. Hang on, let's turn this off. Eddie walks into frame. Maya is looking at her phone. Ring, 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 ring. Hello, you have reached the voicemail of Maddie. Beep. Hangs up phone. Oh wait, I need to delete this on this frame. Bop. Oh crap, where did the boards go? Okay. And Eddie's wandering over. She looks as he arrives, and he goes, still no luck? I'm imagining he's like leaning into frame. Actually, you know what? Let's draw that really quickly. And he's looking down at her slightly because he's kind of in control to a degree. Not in control, that's not the right word. Like, in terms of power balance, she's feeling helpless right now. He's kind of vibing. He's living life. So They're basically equal though, you know. I don't want him to look too concerned, so his eyebrows are like up a little. And then I need to get him to look at her, not out into the void or at his own nose. That's vaguely in her direction. Actually, I want him to like talk to the side of his mouth. And I don't want him to look too concerned. That's too happy, I think. Methinks. Oh, thinking. Words. Brain power. I'm gonna go back to my chat for a second. I'm a long-time artist and currently trying digital software. What do you think of Unreal Engine for character creation? I know absolutely nothing about Unreal Engine other than very random things I've seen on like Reddit about like rendering time and how realistic the stuff looks, and it looks phenomenal, but I don't know anything about actually using it in like practically for myself. The only 3D stuff I have any knowledge of is Maya, so yeah. I hope to be uploading all my Maya files to Patreon, by the way, pretty soon. I had to clear a bunch of storage on my computer last night, which is part of why I stayed up so late. So that should mean I'm finally able to download them off Google Drive and share them with you on Patreon. So reminder, for $4 a month, if you're not there already, you can, what's it called? You can check out all my work in progress stuff, which is fun, I think, I hope. Wait, no, now he's definitely not looking at her. He's looking, I don't know. Well, now he's looking in two completely different directions. I think this one was okay. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So we've gone back in time. So he still has his arm full of, what's it called? Arms full of groceries. Do you like using Maya? I had to use it for my college course. Didn't go too well for me. Good question. And I agree with you. So I had to learn Maya at school. And the problem with learning things in college, at least at Cal Arts, is you are learning a million things at once. And because you have so much homework, or at least we at Cal Arts do, you don't really, unless you're like a wizard, you don't really have time to just like sit down and practice a software, the thing that you're learning. And so you kind of don't feel super good, especially if it's something totally new to you, like 3D software. And so when I was learning it for school, I was doing the absolute bare minimum, like trying to export stuff hours before the deadline. It wasn't that I hated the software, it wasn't that I hated the class, it's just I was busy focusing on other things that I felt more confident in. I was procrastinating. And that's how I felt right up until like December of 2021. And what changed was, when you say college, you mean year 12 and year 13. Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I'm still used to college-wise. But anyway, I got COVID when I flew home. I got it from the plane for winter break. And so I was like basically completely isolated in my room for like 10 days. And it was all cold and miserable outside, and I was all feverish and all of that jazz. So I had nothing better to do than open up my computer and be like, you know what, I should work on my film. I despise drawing backgrounds. I kind of know how to use Maya. Let's try and make backgrounds with it. And suddenly I was spending time making mistakes and then actually like fixing them and figuring out what I wanted to do and looking up tutorials on really specific items to get better. And before you know it, I am in love with the way that my 3D models have been looking. Like, I have some photorealistic well, you know, it's still very, very novice. I don't know what I'm doing truly. Like, I don't have a full understanding of like the whys of how things work, but I do have a strong love for the way that my stuff has looked so far, and it's making me determined to do more. Let me show you some pictures, just as like a just to show you. Let's see. I mean, these are on my website, but they're kind of small. These are all available on Patreon in their original format. Like, oh, hang on. I don't know what I'm opening. Here you go. Okay, ignore this cabinet. This one looks really bad. But everything else, it's like I hand painted all of this. And I hand modeled all of this. And it took me around 2 weeks. But I taught myself how to use end cloth, which is how I have this like plastic sheet that kind of looks more like naturally placed, and like I was figuring out what textures do and materials and surfaces and so forth. Let's see, have I got anything else that I can show you? I mean, I've got more images, but I won't show too much. I want to get back to boarding because I think I should probably wrap up. I was going to wrap up at 2. I think I might wrap up in 30 minutes. We'll see how far I get with the next scene. I'm trying to see what other angles I have. Okay, here's like a really giant, super wide shot of the whole setup. Like, I learned about lighting, and this feels pretty natural, kind of. Like, I mean, it's very extreme, but and getting a TV to look like a TV, and importing textures but making them have alpha, and like you can see the starting point. I just have gray cubes and then those gray cubes become what you see. Yeah, anyway, back to storyboarding. Let me just quickly check chat, see if anyone's talking about this stuff. Almost looks like an actual claymation model. Thank you. My dream of getting my work to look like Worthy Kids, Ian Worthington stuff someday. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, alright, I'm back to Eddie trying to reassure Maya. So, I think maybe he can put his arm, like, kind of here. He's gonna put his arm around her a couple times later in the film, so I'm gonna save that move for later. But I think he can like put his arm here, really lean in, but not in like a creepy, like overbearing, like he's not hunching over her, he's just leaning into her. Like, well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? I'm just saying these lines over and over again, trying to remind myself, like, that's what these words are. He's not really looking where I want him to be looking. This is so hard. This will have to do. It's like, oh god, he's cross-eyed. It won't have to do. Oh my gosh. That's good enough. Actually, you know what? Let's have him tilt his head a little. Oops. Tilt his head a little more. Wait, now he's not looking in the right place again. Oh, the struggles. Well, at least this one looks kind of better. Well, how about... His eyes are too far apart. Oops. His eyes are pretty close compared to hers. That'll do for now. Again, don't know how his hair works from this angle. How did I not realize I need to draw him from this angle? A bunch. I guess I had all the other scenes in mind where we're not looking at him that way. Anyway, I know you're not really going to be seeing this hand, but it's good to have. Wow, it looks like a mitten. And then how about his arm? Oh, you know what? His arm can like sit on the steering wheel. I think I've drawn him proportionally way too big, which is something I should have figured out sooner. As in, like, too big for the car. I need to have the car, like, in front of me for reference, but I don't have that right now. Which is a shame, because I'm on the other side of the planet to the car. I have photos, sure, but, like, I want to really gauge how big it is. Ugh. Okay, well, I guess we'll just improvise what his head's doing. Okay. He looks like he's wearing a skull cap. That's not what I want. It's gonna have to do. Kind of reminds me of The Shape of Water. I've never watched The Shape of Water. I'm sure it's good though. Okay. Let's see. Well, how about you take a break? Until we hit the coast. I've got snacks. Boom. Okay. All right. I'm just like, I'm planning in my head. That's why I'm so quiet. Of what I want to do next. Also, I just like realized I'm talking. Does that make any sense? What? Okay. As in, I'm in a room and I'm talking to people who I can't hear you guys. I can't see you. I don't know anything in that sense. But you guys are seeing me talking. Right. Okay. I'm trying to see. Well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? Does he say we've got? I've got. So this is me not remembering my own script. I've got snacks. Okay. I've got snacks. I might end up redoing all these poses completely, by the way. There's a big chance that could happen. Because what was I gonna say? Like, I don't know how I feel about these poses right now. I don't know if it fully encapsulates what I want these characters to be. But yeah. It's okay for now. It's like a good start. And then once I clean things up, that's when I can that's when I can really pick up on like if this is right or not. Okay, well, I guess this is his hand. Looks like he has too many fingers. Oh yeah, the characters in this film have 4 fingers. Because that'll be easier to animate. Got snacks. I'm trying. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to like pose this out for myself. Hang on. So right now he's like, oh, he's too big. I think he's taking up too much. What's it called? Like his arms sitting the way they currently are in the car does not make sense. The car is too wide for that. Yeah, I have made him too big. That's okay. I can figure it out later. I know what I need to do. Actually, no, let me just sort this right now. He just can like, his arm can come out forward. And what I mean by that is like, it's kind of awkward in perspective, but that's a vague idea. Like it's coming out like this way. So if he's doing that, okay. So he's like, right. Well, I want him to lean his head more. I should have done, actually no, it's gonna look awkward. It's okay. Well, how about we hit the coast? I've got snacks. I guess just putting his hands up would be a good start, and just leaning the other way. But he's still looking at Maya. He's looked at his food plenty. And he's happy. Because his job is to cheer her up. Yeah. Okay, his eyes are too, like, skinny looking. He has got skinny eyes, but for the sake of the expression, there you go. God, they're like gigantic, they're like beach balls. But again, they serve the purpose. Even though my character designs typically are really solid, like, as in, like, they feel like, yeah, they feel solid, but I don't even necessarily mean in a three-dimensional way, just, they feel quite rigid. So it's interesting that I keep choosing to animate in a really flexible way. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Haha. Sorry. Okay, so thumb up here. Hand like this. Just leaning slightly over to this side more now. I got snacks. Cool. Gosh. His arm is coming too far here. I am tired. I'm barely functional right now. I think I'm gonna go to bed right after I finish this and drinks thing. I got snacks. And then I want a beat of him rummaging. And then and drinks comes up afterwards. And drinks. Yeah, no, drunkard. That's not how you type, Anya. So, oh wait, hang on. It's just and. Because this shot, this movement here will hook up. Hang on, I need to delete this. The movement will hook up to a new shot where he's holding up the drinks and he's like goofy. Pop. I hope you can see. I hope my camera's, yeah, my camera's not in the way. Great. So, let's see how my mom's texted me back. It's very late for her right now. Aw, I said if it asked if it's an emergency, and she just said no, just wanted to hear your voice before going to bed. Oh, now I really should call her. Wait, I'll ask her if she's okay with being on the stream. You okay with your voice being streamed? She's probably gonna say no. She's very private. But she appeared once on a stream of mine. My gosh, I cannot type. Being streamed. I want to call, but I'm still live. Okay, in the meantime, whilst I wait for her to reply, I know that Maya's been static this whole time, and I did say I was going to adjust it, but she's pretty stationary for most of this, so for now I don't feel like it's like a big deal for her to be so static. You know what? What's that? Why is this? Oh, it does say it's still here. That's really weird. Okay, ignore me. Boop, boop. Then I want him to like look down. Okay, okay. Good night. Mama needs to sleep. Love you. Yeah, reminder. Text your parents, call your parents, tell them that you love them. Because you don't know how they're feeling, how long they're going to be around, all of that. It's never too much, but it can always be too little. Okay, wait, I'm going to have him just with his mouth closed for this section. I'm impressed with how quiet the cat and dog have been this whole time. They're very well behaved. I don't even remember what side his hair is long or which side is short, because he's got these two floopy things. This is Eddie, but the bangs, I guess they are on the fringe. One side, the parting is slightly to the side, so yeah. Oh gosh, I needed to solve this before I started boarding. Oh well. Thumb out, fingers reach. That looks so bad. Okay, that's just gonna have to do. Leaning in more. Also, yeah, don't at me for the lapels that I'm drawing on this dude. I know they're bad. I don't care. I will clean them up when it's important. I don't know why I drew this frame. This frame is kind of redundant. But I did it. For some reason. Okay, that means I have to add an extra panel now. Where he's grabbing 2 bottles of wine that aren't in this image. Okay. Let's pretend this is his head. And that he's actually reaching. Cool. This is good enough. Good enough for now. Nice and fast drawing. Oh no, the bots have come. I didn't realize that the bots decided to pay a visit. Haha. Let's how does one ban? It's oh, I nearly added the bot as a moderator. Let's just report as unwanted commercial content or spam report. Boom, goodbye. Thank you. I'm so happy you're back on YouTube. Thank you, Yam. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll be back here because I'm going to be busy with school very soon, like as soon as September hits. I'm already busy with school because I'm on student union and student treasurer, so I have weekly meetings for that, and I enjoy it, but it just means that there's a lot on my plate. But I'm hoping that I can supplement like a lack of regular videos with streams like this where I work on my film, because that's what I'll be doing for school. So we shall see. We shall see. But I also do really hope to keep my Patreon going like more consistently, because yeah, I kind of neglected it for a while. I don't know what happened there, but this time around I'm really determined to make, what's it called, like to make it worth everyone's money over there, where you can pay me just $1 a month if you want early videos, or just to say thank you. You can do more than that if you so choose to. That kind of deal. Okay. I don't know what this pose is, but okay. Let's say his head is up here. This is him moving off screen. The because I'm hooking up to the next shot. Actually, you know what? I want him to be looking at Maya already. And he's talking, so his mouth is open. I need to redo his arms. I drew them incorrectly. Didn't think. Can you see my thought process? Or should I say lack thereof? Yeah. It's kind of obvious pretty quickly that I've gotten lazy in the last couple years. Like back when I applied to Cal Arts, I was way more thoughtful with my drawings, but these days I've just fallen apart, honestly. But it happens. Okay. Did I draw on the wrong? No, I didn't. Okay. So let's turn this off for a second. And onion skin. Oh god, he is looking rough. His nose is incorrectly placed in the other thing. Yeah, let's replay this whole scene. Well, let's just replay from the beginning. Why not? We've done that a couple times, but I want to do it again. Okay, establishing shot. Eddie walks into frame. Actually, you know what? I want him to start walking again, because then it like hooks up more nicely that he's moving to Maya. So actually, okay, wait, let's slide that command. Whoops. I know, did I just delete the background? Yeah, I did. Oopsie daisy. So now let's turn onion skin back on so I can see what we're working with. Something along these lines should be good. Okay, so walks in, stops, gets going again, cuts to Maya. Ring, 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 ring. Hello, you have reached the voice. Oh wait, let me turn this back off. You have reached the voicemail of Maddie. Beep. Hangs up. Sigh. Chin on knees. Cheese on knees. Wow. Okay. Closes eyes. Looks up. Eddie shows up, and he's like, "Still no luck." No. I'm gonna need to listen to the audio again to see if I can. What's it called? Because that's going to inform my acting choices. Let's just remove. Are these dating site thing? It's like coming back. What is happening? Well, I guess this time I'm going to say it's pornography or sexually explicit material. Wait, what? They're not all deleting? That's great. Love that for me. Remove. Remove. Boop. I'm moderating my own comment section. Great. Okay. There's like 50 of you here. It's fine. So then, yeah, nope. Phone rings. Hang up. Shit, man. Sorry. Well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? I've got snacks. And then here he comes up with like drinks. So yeah, and then I'll be done. Hopefully that'll take me less than 10 minutes, and that way I can get a half an hour nap, eat some lunch, walk the dog, and then head out. What is the process of getting actors for this? I will show you. I don't know is the real answer, like on a broader scale. If you're trying to hire people like professionally, you know, it could be through agents, and are they in guilds or what's it called? Not guilds. Are they in unions and stuff like that? But with Cal Arts, we have an acting program, and we have some really good actors, and we also have people who aren't actors that just want to partake. In fact, I'm a voice. Some of my friends that are in other programs that are not acting are voices for these guys. Let's see, and they're all wonderful. I'm so happy with everyone. I'm trying to find where my materials are. It's gonna be in you know when you like organize files in a certain way and you're like, yeah, this makes perfect sense, and then you from the future is like, nope, that doesn't make perfect sense. That's how I'm feeling right now, but I have found what I'm talking about. So I don't know how much you know about Cal Arts, but we have some serious poster culture, meaning the walls by the end of the year are littered with posters that have various types of information. It could be advertising an event. With character animators, you always see voice actors needed or sound designer wanted kind of thing. And so what I did is I made 4 mini posters. They're kind of sandwiched together just because that's how I printed them. But then I cut all these little posters out in strips and like split it up. Oh, this poster has big spoilers. Whoops. Just don't read the words. But yeah, so what I did is this is the first time I ever drew the characters. I hadn't designed them yet. I just kind of did something, and then all of my sketches were based on these designs. So you can see that most of them ended up staying pretty similar. But yeah, so I split my thing into a sound designer and then the 3 story sections, and just a quick drawing of the characters, little brief description of like the kind of voice I want, or their personality, or both. And then on the bottom I have the strips with my email on it, that's my school email. I mean, you can technically contact me there, but I'd rather you contacted me with Meppity at gmail.com. But yeah, so I just put these up around school, and I got like maybe 20 auditions in total, which is really lovely. A lot of people go to things like Twitter and Instagram and get the actors online, but a lot of it is like, are you willing to pay these people? Are they willing to work for free, or are they like, what are they getting from this, and so forth. You have to make that clear from the beginning. So yeah, okay, right. Let's do the finish pose first, because that's most important. Okay, let me get my drawing of Eddie up. He has like these sideburn things that kind of make it tricky to tell what is what's it called? Like, what's his hair, what's his head, but I kind of like it. It actually makes my job easier. And I want him to be a little bit of a wonky smile. And I've noticed it's a big trend these days. I wish it wasn't. No, I don't wish it wasn't. I love the style, but it's like, I do it too, and I'm such a, what's it called? I'm like a, not like other girls type of, I'm a hipster, that's the word, where I don't want to do what's popular, but it's the whole thing where you connect the nose to the eyebrow, but you know what, it's fun. And drinks, he's got wide eyes, and then this eye's squeezed. Sorry, I'm like pulling silly facial expressions at you guys, but that is part of the process. Then actually, no, I'm going to change this eyebrow up like this. Yeah, that's a little better. His eyes are bigger than this, his pupils, I mean, or irises. His eyes are too far apart still. His eyes are pretty close together design wise. I'm gonna, there you go. Actually, yeah. Cool. I think that'll be okay. Actually, I need to change the way that this nose is. So he's a little more front facing. He looks kind of mean, like his design, and I'm okay with that because what's important is the acting. If I can convince you of his personality just through the acting, then that's showing I'm doing a good job. And I want him to look a little stereotypically mean, just like how I want Maya to look like a stereotypical pretty blonde white girl, but like, you know, a classic popular girl kind of thing. But in all her drawings she looks super mopey and emotional, so she's already got a little bit of depth to her. I don't know. Yeah. With this guy, he's got a lot of like mean looking poses, so I need to work on the stuff that makes him look more sincere. Maybe I should open his mouth a little first. Man, trying to get this eye to read well is hard. Like, to be sort of squeezy. That works. Okay. Gonna shrink this down a tad. What the heck? Go, there we go. So that he's got some room above him. Gosh, how does his hair look? Like this? Don't want it to tangent with the top, but I will worry about... Okay, actually, I'll just make it stick over. I'll worry about that another day. He looks a little too mean now. Crud. It's okay. Again, I'll fix it on another pass. Okay, now he's got his wine bottles in hand. Thumb's going away. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. I keep forgetting that they have 4 fingers, not 3. I'm sorry, not 5. And so it's like weird looking to me to a degree, because I don't normally do that. So reminder, he is looking, actually, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. He's looking at Maya, who's down this way. So, yeah. Okay. Just trying to figure out where everything is going. Actually, his shoulder needs to be further out because he's got big ass shoulder pads. And then this arm sticks out this way. We don't need to see the whole thing. What does his lapel look like? I want to get it a little more accurate this time around. It's like that, right? Just because we're closer up now and it's less covered. Cool. Now I'm going to take the whole thing, stretch it a little because it looks a little squished. Except his face looks redonkulous. I've made this middle portion of his face too big, so I'll tweak that in a moment. But first, I want to shrink this down so his head is a little better placed. I want that to be there. Whoa! Did you guys just see that? I don't know what just happened. It just like mega zoomed in. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, so what I need to fix is his nose needs to be up here. That needs to be there. Then we've got to get all these lines and move them up. That feels a little more like his face. And then I'll get this line and squeeze it down like that. You know what, I'm gonna make him look less, I think this is what's making him look mean, is the eyebrow. That looks a little friendlier. So now he's like, and drinks. And then what I want him to do, oh, it's 2:30 now. I think I might just leave it. But I want him to like shake the bottles around, like, hey, and you know what? No, I can do it really quickly, but like the crappy version, where I just select this, all of it, please, shift it up, and rotate it. Like that. Then have this be further down. Hang on, did I just do that? Wait, I want to tilt this the other way, actually. So now it's like, but I will adjust it. So it won't be, this won't be the previous frame, it'll be something else. And I will also move everything slightly, just for some visual interest. And I will also adjust his head. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Cool. Wait, why does it keep deleting the... Oh, you know, I know why. Because I'm on the selection tool. There you go. Let's bring onion skin back. Oh wait, no, it's just that. I hope, if anything, me fumbling around today has perhaps inspired a little more confidence in you guys to just kind of go out there and have your fun. Because if I can publicly show that I don't know what I'm doing, I'm sure you can privately, you know, mess around and teach yourself something. Like even just forcing myself to work and talk through my process today has made me feel a tiny bit more confident, and I'm warming back up to using this software. Like, it's great. It's great to practice and become more confident in what you do, especially if it's something you need to learn. Actually, you know what? We can make him squeezy-eyed. Like this. Oh, screw it. I'm just redoing it. Actually, let's see. I want a goofy face. That's what I want. That's what I'm gonna get. If I do it right. I don't know what the face should be. Like with the eyes, sorry. Oh god, that looks petrifying with tiny pupils. This is not working the way I want it to. I'm just experimenting with silly faces right now. And after that, I shall stop, I think. Hello, I know that you're more into 2D than 3D, but I was wondering if you saw Disney's Encanto and what you thought about its animation. Yes. I don't care for the story of Encanto. I think it kind of fell off towards the end in like the third act, but the animation was incredible. It was stunning. Like really, really loved it wholeheartedly. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he's squinting a little, but part of me wants him to. I kind of really want him to have like these big, wide eyes and a like too big smile. But the problem I'm interacting with is because his eyes are designed to be so close to his head, and I don't want his eyebrows floating off of his head. I can't do the big eyes thing as easily, especially if he's looking up. Actually, yes, he's looking down. Well, let's try. Let's try it just like regular eyes being big. Good. Like this. And did you say something about wanting a show? What if Gravity Falls could collide with another show? Which would it be? If it's like thematically, stylistically, it would probably be like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's like if I could make that, I would be honored. I would love that. Really would. But that's a big ask because those are two of the best animated shows of the last 20 years. So I don't know if we're ever going to hit a high like that. Okay, so bear with me here. He's going to hold the pose for an uncomfortably long time, and he's going to shake the bottles up and down. Well, not shake them, but like wave them up and down, and then he's still doing it, and then he squints. Like, eek. Like I imagine like a little squeaky noise accompanying him doing this. So now we want to move these bottles. Oh, come on. There we go. Down a bunch. Like that. Oh, maybe not that much. And then this one rolls in and up. Cool. Then what I'll do is that, shift, and then I'll duplicate both, and then I'll do it one more time, and for this last time you have squinty eyes. Boom. Thank you. I should probably not be so zoomed in whilst I do this, but I don't care. I'm done. I'm emotionally and artistically exhausted right now. Oh gosh, this looks terrifying. Okay. Okay, Command C. Hey doggy. What's up, pup? Do you want to play? I think he wants to play. That's a banana peel. I don't want you to eat that. That's not going to be good for you. Okay. Let's see if this has worked. Let's play that. Let's play it up from here. Okay. So, fumbling to hang up his phone. Shit, man. Sorry. Well, how about you take a break until we hit the coast? I've got snacks. And drinks. And then he's like, dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Wait, what? What happened? Hey, 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 hey. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna end my stream now. Okay, that's great. Ray. Okay, this is not ideal. Hang on. Crap.